All right, a Thursday edition of The Zone right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy, heading up until 2 o'clock. The next 4 hours, we've got you. Handing it off at 2 o'clock to Soren Petro and the program. Coming up an hour from now, we will talk with Matt Lane, KC Sports Network, KC Laboratory Podcast, get his thoughts on this Chiefs team. Last time we had a conversation was going into that Colts game, coming off the Broncos loss.
Full transparency.
Yeah.
It'd been a while since we had reached out. I had reached out to either Matt or Kent.
Yeah,
and
right.
so I just put him in a group text last night. I go, boys, I'm sorry. I was gone last week, and we had Thanksgiving. Which one of you is on the show today? And so I had them fight out for. They both wanted. They said, I want to do it. No, I want to do it. I said, boys, flip a coin.
Well, did Kent tell you that he did it last Wednesday, so that's why it was Matt's turn anyway?
No, he did not.
Oh, okay. Well, that was the case.
I was gone, okay? So I'm doing
fine.
my due diligence,
Wow.
and I just try to start an argument between the two.
No, that makes sense. I like the beef. You should start more beef from people that do podcasts together. That's awesome.
Call me Wendy's.
Let's do it, man. So we'll talk with Matt Lane coming up at 11 o'clock, KC Sports Network. Coming up at 11:45, we'll hear from the Kansas City Chiefs getting ready for the Houston Texans. It's Coordinator Day and Chris Jones. So we'll hear from them at 11:45. We've got Sports or Leisure in the 1 o'clock hour as well. 913-912-4810 is the text line to be a part of the show, part of the conversation today, to weigh in on some of the things we will be talking about throughout the next 4 hours. But yes, it's a humongous weekend for the Chiefs, as it has been for the last 4 weeks. And that's, I think, the worry that comes in, and most fans' trepidation, where there's this battle between the confidence and what our eyes have shown us this year and the lack of belief that's sort of going back and forth in this tug of war of years past has shown us that the Chiefs can do what they need to do to go and make the playoffs. This year has shown us that the Chiefs have not played well in crucial moments in these games where we've talked about, boy, this is a massive game for this particular team. They have not come through in these moments outside of the fourth quarter and overtime against the Indianapolis Colts. And so that's where that, the conflict comes in with maybe people's own emotions and feelings about this particular game and this Chiefs team, is you want to believe because it's shown you time and time again. I mean, I talked about what a couple of years ago when the Chiefs went to Buffalo and went to Baltimore and won those games. It completely changed the way that I watched Chiefs games. That it was like before that, man, they got to get the 1 seed, got to get that home field advantage. You're watching these games and it's like, man, they can go on the road and win. They can be at home and win, and they're inevitable. They just find ways to win these games. It's what they do. Like last year became that, saying yet again of the Chiefs are inevitable. It's the inevitability of the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, and that has not been the case this year. But you still have that. Like there haven't been enough games this year to completely erase what we've seen from the previous 6 years.
They're not getting blown out.
Right. And so we can say a play here or a play there, all of those things, but those plays haven't been made by the Chiefs throughout the entirety of the game. And now the hope is that the football gods flip and those things start to be made. But ultimately, it ain't just about the fourth quarter, but it is about playing better football throughout the entirety of the game, which they now have to do, or we will be talking about in a couple of weeks, draft position, who they should get, who they should sign, trades, guys they should let walk, how you restructure this roster, because that's on the table in about 10 days. Yeah. 10 days, that's on the table right now of what they lose on Sunday and they lose next Sunday to the Chargers, then they making the playoffs. We know that. They're toast, and the conversation completely switches from, do you think they can win, to who do they go and draft? What positions do they attack, and who can you sign and not sign, and what are the lessons to be learned as to why this happened this year? I hope that's not the case.
I apologize about the coughing fit.
No, you're choked up about it.
Well, I am, and I also am choked up because Schlotsky's Deli brought in Cinnabon for the morning show yesterday, and I found it in the break room, and I decided to eat one before the show,
Good
and delicious, very good still.
Still holds up 24 hours
But
later.
wow, that went down the wrong pipe. Shockingly, eating as fast as I do might have some detriments.
Yeah, see, when you're not literally supposed to inhale the food.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then all I have in here is hot coffee, so I'm just chugging hot coffee to try and wash it down. So you see my pain. Speaking of pain, I don't understand the lack of urgency from this Chiefs team, which is why I don't know what's going to change. We can hear Andy Reid talk about the colorful things in the press conference that, yay, that's funny, that's
I don't know
that's
what you're
cool.
talking about.
But if you didn't have urgency after losing to the Bills, having a bye week, going on the road to the Broncos, and it felt lethargic, why would it change now? You've had 3 opportunities since 4 if you want to count the Bills game, but I think the Bills game still you had a little bit of leeway. That Broncos game was really when this 3-game stretch has started of, all right, guys, get it together or you're going to miss the playoffs. And what have we seen? The exact same things we saw prior to the bye week. So why would I think all of a sudden things are going to get, in Andy Reid's terms, cleaned up? Why would I think things would be cleaned up now? There's not a track record of this season. Previous seasons, yes. This year, the 2025 season, there has not been. These same issues plague this team. So why would I expect different? Do I think they can still make the playoffs and go 5-0? Yeah, they're talented enough. I think they can. But I don't know if I'm betting on it at this point. At this point, we have these same things, the same issues arising week in and week out. Because even the Colts game that they won, Colts are a good team. It wasn't like they came out and dominated. It wasn't like they came out and just go, we are the better team. We're proving a point to you guys. We have Patrick. You have Danny Dimes. We're going to get this thing done. They won 23-20 in overtime, and they couldn't punch it in at the end of the game in fourth quarter.
Yeah, which was, I mean, that was disappointing. Obviously, they end up winning the game. You know, I tweeted out before the show today because I saw yesterday Dan Orlovsky had the tweet out there about, you know, hey, this is yesterday afternoon. He puts out the tweet, why the Chiefs are where they are. They can't make a play on defense when it matters the most. And then there's the graphic of Chiefs' close losses this year. Week 5 at Jags, lost 31-28. Up 4 with 1:45 left, allowed Jacksonville touchdown with 23 seconds left in the game. Week 9 at Bills, lost 28-21. Buffalo up 7 with 4:18 left, but did not get the ball back until 22 seconds left in the game. I'm going to come back to that because it's a little disingenuous. Week 11 at Broncos, lost 22-19. Tie game with 2:59 left. Field goal as time expired. Week 13 at Cowboys, lost 31-28, down 3 with 3:27 left, never got the ball back. Those are all true. That's what happened in those games. The only thing that I would push back on is Week 9 at the Bills. They were down 28-21, and they had the ball and went 3 and out and punted back to the Bills, who then took the last 4 minutes of the game off the clock and gave the Chiefs the ball back with 22 seconds left after missing the field goal. So that isn't exactly like, well, the Chiefs' defense didn't come through. No, the Chiefs got within a touchdown. Chiefs' defense got a stop, got the ball back to the Chiefs' offense, but the Chiefs' offense then gave the ball right back to the Bills, who, you know, took the air out of the football and then missed the field goal, and the Chiefs couldn't do anything after that with 22 seconds left. A little disingenuous, but the point still stands from those of the fourth quarter, but I offer some pushback with that a little bit.
So how did the Chiefs get to this point? How did the Chiefs' defense get to this point? Is this a Veach missing a lot on the defensive line? Is this they identify and drafted the wrong guys, FAU, bringing in the wrong guys, and even with trades, minor ones, but still Joshua Uche? Was it overpaying for an aging Chris Jones, who they thought would still be elite, who has now merely been fine?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the last couple of years, he's still been Chris Jones.
He's been great.
This year, yeah.
He has.
Last few games, he's been more of Chris Jones, but still, yes.
Yes, he's been better the past couple of weeks, but the point still remains.
Yeah.
He's paid to be Chris Jones. And again, it's not all his fault. You knew there was a cliff. So my point is that also something the Chiefs should have realized? George Karlaftis contract. Again, I'm lesser upset with the George Karlaftis contract than most, so I will offer that pushback because I think he does do a lot of things well. I think that if Chris Jones was still doing the elite Chris Jones things, it makes him look a lot better because he's a legit, I think, defensive end too, who's getting paid like a borderline back-end defensive end one, just in today's contract. So how did the Chiefs get to this point? Is it Spagnuolo? Is his defensive game plan, is it stale? Or is it the fact that when you have to send 5 or 6 guys, you're going to leave a shorter cornerback, Trent McDuffie, one-on-one with CeeDee Lamb? Is it the fact that CRW is a fine slot corner, but you keep playing Shamari Connor in that role, and now CRW is injured? Like, I don't know if it's schematics. I don't know if it's drafting. I don't know if it's the guys are tired because they've gone to 7 straight AFC championships. Now, again, not all of them have gone to 7 straight AFC championship games. But there's something that's just not clicking, and I don't know where it's at.
Well, the tweet from Dan Orlovsky that I saw, I have been talking about this year and talking about last year in these one-score games, that people are not adding the full picture, the context of these one-score games. People remember the Baltimore Ravens toe with Isaiah Likely out of bounds, and they don't remember the fact that the Chiefs were up 2 scores in the fourth quarter, which meant that the Ravens had to play almost perfect football. They don't remember that, against the Raiders, they were leading when the Raiders fumbled the football. They were leading when the Broncos, had the field goal blocked. They were leading when the Panthers made the last drive to tie it up, and then the Chiefs went down and kicked the field goal. They were leading when the Bucks made the drive to tie it up, and then the Chiefs got the ball in overtime and scored the touchdown. They were leading in all of these games last year, because we can point to specific times where you go, well, the defense didn't come through here. It's like, okay, well, the defense didn't come through and stopping the Panthers either. The difference was the Chiefs had the lead. Panthers tied it. Chiefs then went and won. They didn't come through and stopping the Bucks with a 7-point lead. Difference is the Chiefs were leading. The Bucks tied it. Probably should have gone for 2, especially now knowing the result. Chiefs get the ball in overtime. They go and win that game. Now, the defense came through a couple of times against the Falcons. People can argue about whether it was pass interference or not. It was. It wasn't called. That sucks.
There were still like 4 minutes left in the game.
100%. Absolutely. And they still would have had to score from the 1-yard line. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But the Chiefs last year had been finding ways to win. They would have been down at most 5 points in the game at that point if they were to score from the 1-yard line, if the pass interference in the end zone was called. But also, going into some of those games, going into those fourth quarters, the Chiefs had control of the game. Like the 1-score win against the Raiders earlier in the year, the Chiefs were up 14. The Raiders went and scored a touchdown with 30 seconds left and then didn't get the onside kick. Well, that's a 1-score win. Ooh, they had another 1-score win. Well, no, they really didn't. I mean, it's kind of like the Chiefs and Chargers earlier this year. Yeah. They were down, fourth quarter, crazy pass to Hollywood Brown from Patrick Mahomes. If that doesn't happen, the Chiefs lose by multiple scores in the game. But Mahomes makes the pass. Hollywood finds the space. They score on that drive. They're down by 6 points. They don't get a stop. But they had to be perfect because they were trailing by multiple scores. They were trailing the Eagles by multiple scores after the interception at the goal line off of Kelsey's hands. They were down 10 points. They were down 3. Could have gone up 4. Instead, that interception happens. They're now down 10. Yeah. They have to play perfect football the rest of the way because the possessions are limited when you get into the fourth quarter because the other team is trying to kill the clock. They know what you're doing more often than not. You can't run the vast majority of your playbook because, you're not going to be handing it off because Andy Reid isn't going to do that really anyway.
2nd and 10 draw plays for 1 yard are still going to be in the playbook.
Sometimes you can do that. I don't know. It depends on if it works or not.
The answer is no,
yes.
It doesn't work.
But my point to Dan Orlovsky's tweet was, I think when we talk about specifically fourth quarter, we miss the forest for the trees because I think people would be surprised if I told you that in the 6 losses this year for the Chiefs in these 1-score games, they have outscored their opponents in the fourth quarter. That'd be surprising, right? They're plus 6. In the fourth quarter, in the 6 losses that they have. They're plus 6. The problem is, entering the fourth quarter in those 6 losses, they're minus 39 combined. Minus 39. It's the inverse of what last year was. The Chiefs controlled the game, and heading into the fourth quarter, the other team was chasing and having to play perfect football. This go around, the Chiefs are not playing well in the second and third quarter. Leading into a fourth quarter when now it's go time. You got to turn it on, and it's like, well, damn it, George Pickens, another slant route. Can't get a stop. Okay, but if the Chiefs didn't have a lull in the middle of the game in the second and third quarter where they punt from the 50, Andy. 4th and 3 from Cowboys territory, Andy. I mean, if that doesn't happen, if they put points on the board, then that last drive to get a stop might have been the Chiefs up by 10, and they're driving to make it a one-score game, the Cowboys, to then get in the game, and then it's like, well, the Cowboys scored a touchdown. Oh, Chiefs won by 3. Another one-score win by the Chiefs. They're surviving these one-score wins, and then we'd look at whatever play might have happened in the Chiefs' favor and focus on only that like they did last year. These gifted, unearned, refs bailed you out wins of a year ago are missed. The bigger point in that the first 3 quarters, the Chiefs put themselves in position where the other team couldn't fumble the football late, the Raiders.
Yeah.
Had to make a field goal late, Broncos. Couldn't have an unsportsmanlike conduct meltdown by Jamar Chase late in the game. Couldn't have a penalty, even though the Chiefs just had a penalty the play before, making it 4th and 16. Butker had to kick the field goal there to win that game. Like some of those things, when the Chiefs were winning one-score games, they had leads that the other team was chasing, or they had a couple of games where they had to play really good in the fourth quarter against the Bengals and against the Chargers when they banked the field goal in.
Yeah.
The Chiefs this year put themselves in position where they've had to play almost perfect in the fourth quarter, outside of the Jags and the Broncos game. And they played perfect in one game. The Colts, they won it.
Yeah.
They haven't in these others because the first 3 quarters, Sterling, they are putting themselves behind the 8 ball and saying, well, now you got to go and be perfect. And we get pissed off that Chris Jones took an inside route and let Justin Herbert get outside. We get pissed off because they can't stop a slant route. We get pissed off because this call went against the Chiefs, or they didn't do this, or Rashee Rice drops a football, or, whatever it might be. Yeah, because we focus on that because the first 3 quarters are sort of dismissed. Not to a large degree, but sort of dismissed. Jags pick 6, Eagles interception, Juwan Taylor, illegal formation, some of those things along the way. But those aren't the only plays in those games in the first 3 quarters that cost them opportunities to be leading in the fourth quarter as opposed to trailing and chasing.
And this is why I just wonder if they're mentally and physically drained. They've played in – it's a horrible excuse. When you play in so many big games, how do you get up for a noon game against a certain team or a 3:25 game or hell, even Monday Night Football? You're used to playing in big-time playoff games. Now, again, this is not every player. Josh Simmons has not done that. The rookies have not done that. So I acquiesce and give you that point. But I do wonder if they go, well, we won all these one-score games last year. I know we know why, and we're giving you're giving the breakdown of why they had these leads and why they're winning these games. But they're sitting here going, well, we won all these one-score games last year. It's going to be the same this year. We'll coast. All we have to do is make the playoffs, and we'll be fine. We'll turn it on whenever we want to. And the issue is it's cold outside, and it's just going, brrr, brrr. It's the battery's dead.
Okay, I didn't know what that was.
I didn't know how to do the noise when you turn your key in and the battery's dead. Yes,
it's more of a clicking sound.
More of a clicking sound.
Yeah. And I thought you were looking at like it wouldn't start. It was like Christina Aguilera. You're gonna flood it.
Well, this Chiefs team is they're flooded right now. They're flooded right now because this is what it feels like to me. Is it's a team that just thought they can turn it on whenever they want. They can just play in the fourth quarter and they'll get it done. And that's not been the case. You're 6-6. You're on the outside looking in the playoff picture, and you have 5 games left. And again, it goes back to there are some serious issues with this team, especially defensively. I do think you're right. Going back to the microcosm that was Andy Reid not going for it on that 4th and 3 from the Dallas Cowboys territory. Aggressive Andy's worked this year. It's not like they've gone for it in 4th down and they're 2 for 10. They've been amazing on 4th down.
They were early in the year, and I think they started missing a couple. And what we talked about was, I hope if they don't convert on a couple of these, Andy Reid doesn't lose his nerve.
Well, and then also,
and I think he kind of has.
In this game, now one was after, and they needed it. What did they do on the goal line when they went for it on 4th down?
On 4th and 3, what'd they do? They sent out the kicking team, and Patrick Mahomes waved them off.
And what happened?
They scored a touchdown.
But
he wanted to kick it.
And this is my point is.
And good on Patrick Mahomes going, harumph, I'm not leaving.
Yes.
I'm not leaving the field. Get the hell out. Butker, get off the field.
But against any team in the entire NFL, if there's a team to go for on fourth down, it's the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They have a bad defense. It's better now with some of the pieces they brought up from the trade deadline. I get that. But it's a bad defense and an offense that's phenomenal. You're not going to stop them. They're also going to go for it on fourth downs. Why don't you?
Yeah, it was an offensive game that Andy Reid was apparently playing like a defensive game.
You're playing field position, and the time you punted it, and it was a great punt by Ariza on one of them. He got it to the 1 yard line.
Yep.
Well, nice. They got the field position back in 3 plays. Like, what are you doing here, Andy? Like, you have in this game evidence to show you go for it, and you're punting. I'm just. That to me was a very frustrating microcosm of the season of almost not even taking him seriously. We talked about it against what team did they do that against early in the year? The Jags.
Oh, it was Jags. They didn't go for it on fourth down, and it ended up costing them because,
and what did we say?
Yeah.
What you said. You said, well, against a better offense or a team that they might take a little more seriously, they're going to go for it. They didn't.
Yeah.
That's just who Andy was. That's who he's been.
Yeah, Chiefs had 4th and 4 in Cowboys territory and punted the ball down to the Dallas 4-yard line. And it's like, okay, there you go. Well, Dallas got a field goal out of that. They went down and scored. And it was a 36-yarder.
Yes.
It wasn't Aubrey from 60 that they got a field goal. It was a 36-yard field goal, okay? And you punted it. And you went from being down 3 to down 6. And again, you were going to kick a field goal down 6 on 4th and goal. And Patrick said no. And he found a way to get it to Rashee Rice. And maybe a thing developed in that game for Mahomes down at the goal line is I've got Kelsey there, so I'm going to throw it high and let him go make a play. I've got Rashee Rice. I'm going to throw it high, let him go make a play. Hollywood Brown, I'm throwing it high. He's going to have to jump up and make a play. All 3 of them did. So that's good that all 3 of them did. Maybe it gives Mahomes more confidence to trust his guys and say, you know what, I'm throwing the ball and it's not wide open. I need to run around and do something here. You know what, against the Texans, they're going to get there quickly. If Kelsey's in the end zone and that defender's back is to you, let him go make a play. Let him go do something with it. Give him a chance. Same thing with Rashee Rice. You had both those defenders and those touchdowns with their backs to you, so you threw the ball, and Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce were able to adjust to the ball where the defender could not.
I thought Mahomes was great in this game, and I felt like some of the scheme and, again, some of the decision-making hindered that. Yeah. You're watching Patrick have a great game, and then Andy's deciding to punt. Like, again, it's not like your quarterback is Geno Smith. It's not like you're playing the Raiders or a team that struggles to score. You're playing the Cowboys. To me, it just felt like a misunderstanding of the entire game and situation and flow.
Yeah, I mean, you're cooking. You got Bobby Flay there. And Andy's like, I don't know, it kind of feels like Michael Darcy.
Maybe I think Darcy can cook.
He ain't Bobby
Darcy,
Flay.
I believe you can cook.
Not like Bobby Flay.
I don't know. Just say flambe. I think is
flambe?
Is he the guy that just goes flambe?
What do you say? No.
Who's the flambe guy?
I don't know, but I doubt it's him. Are you talking about the salt god, whatever?
The guy that just I think he just yells flambe and then like fire comes up or
Sachet?
something. Maybe I'm thinking of a magician. That makes more sense.
Yeah, let's take a time out and we'll come back and hopefully if the Chiefs are cooking this weekend, Andy Reid will let Patrick Mahomes go and continue out there, but it's going to be a tough one where they're going to have to maximize possessions. And by the way, the defense is going to have to come up and make a play here or there. Going to have to get a sack, turnover here or there to help out with some short fields. We'll take a time out, come back, more zone next. Well, you know that the NFL continues to roll along, and Missouri, your moment, it's finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is now live in your state. We did it. We waited. We got here. Now you can make every game even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, props, and more, all on your phone. All safe, secure, easy to use, and Missouri fans, you know, game day, the tailgate, the noise, the passion. Now with DraftKings Sportsbook, you can bring that same energy to every snap, every touchdown, and every win. And right now, new Missouri customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting, no nonsense, just pure action powered by America's top-rated Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 810WHB. The crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Kansas only. Eligibility and restrictions apply on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy, heading up until 2 o'clock. We have been waiting for a while for the World Cup to come to Kansas City once everything was announced, and even when things were, going down the path of deciding which cities will be host cities, I was incredibly confident, maybe overly confident, that Kansas City would receive a bid to host games in the World Cup. And obviously we did, and there was a ton of work done by a lot of people that put that in. And tomorrow we see what the group stages will be, the groupings. We'll see which teams in that draw. That starts at 11 o'clock in the morning. And if you want to come down and have the watch party at the Power and Light District, the free viewing event celebrating the FIFA World Cup 26th final draw, it's from KC Live. It is tomorrow. We will be hanging out at No Other Pub during the show. So from 10 to 2, we'll be broadcasting there. There'll be a lot of cool stuff going on. There'll be commentary from Nate Bukaty and Jimmy Conrad and Matt Beasler. Tons of giveaways and things like that. I mean, we've wanted the cup. We got the cup. And if you want more information, go to kansascityfwc.com. Sports Radio 810, broadcasting live from the event. Proud partner of KC 2026. The live broadcast brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City, official health insurance partner of the KC Current, and Sporting Kansas City. And so looking forward to that. It's a jam-packed show already tomorrow.
Yeah.
And now we throw in the World Cup draw. And then Saturday, obviously you want to see what group the United States is in so you don't get the group of death, whichever group ends up being the group of death, or this is the toughest group to get out of to get to the knockout round. Hopefully the United States is not in that, obviously. But Saturday, when you start to see the game times and matchups and cities, then you see who's coming to Kansas City. Then you get an idea of what countries are going to be based in Kansas City with their teams, their national teams, and that's where it gets really exciting because you want one or two of the big dogs, and Kansas City is hosting 2 games from J, and I think 1 game from E and 1 game from F, so it would be some of the teams that are in those particular groups when those group stages are figured out. So whichever group that has those teams that are hosting a couple of games with Group A, boom, there you go, feeling good.
It's going to be electric. It's going to be so much fun. I'm excited for tomorrow. Again, even if you're not a huge soccer fan, it's
a celebration of Kansas City, really.
That's my point.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Go ahead.
I'm not Nate Bukaty over here. I'm not a soccer guy.
Thanks, Nate.
But
By the way, that was when I first started doing the Denny Matthews impression.
Because of that was
Denny Matthews, Ryan Lefevre, Nate Bukaty. It's back when he traveled with the team. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm excited. Again, you don't have to be the biggest soccer guy or even like soccer a lot to enjoy tomorrow and what it means for Kansas City, what it means for the United States. I mean, this is awesome. This is so cool seeing the U.S. and KC be a part of such a global event, international event. Great teams, hopefully great countries come here. I'm excited for any country. Just so they can see Kansas City, put KC on a map from a country that probably has no idea where KC is. I'm excited. The Heartland, baby.
I do wonder, obviously,
if you're Cote d'Ivoire, do you know where Kansas City is?
No clue what you just said there. You are
Ivory Coast.
Much more traveled than. Okay, there you go, Ivory Coast. That's fine. Take the Ivory Coast here in
Drogba's still playing now, but
Drago's from Russia. He's from the USSR. Fucking change. You can change.
If Germany
Anybody can change.
If Germany comes, I'll be thrilled because I will speak German to them in the 7 sentences I know. I know how to order beer. And where's the bathroom? That's all you need.
There you go. How do I get there? You go. Because when you break the seal, you need to
I know how to
know
say something's good. Das ist lecker. Or how something's bad. Das ist nicht gut. It's not good.
Oh yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I made that. Yeah.
Yeah. See, so I can speak a little German.
Just make sure when you start counting, do you start with your thumb or your index?
Oh yeah, you gotta
be smart.
You gotta be.
Yeah, you gotta be ready for that.
You can't do the Inglorious,
man.
Inglorious Bastards.
You gotta be smart enough then to do that. So there you go. We'll see which teams will be heading to Kansas City, which countries will be heading to Kansas City on Saturday. But they will be Kansas City. We will be hosting 2 games from Group J. That's the 16th and the 27th. Yeah, 16th and 27th. So the first and last game of the group stage in Kansas City will be from Group J teams, and then one game from Group E and one game from Group F. And so July 3rd will then be the round of 32 knockout stage. They'll have one of those as well. And one of 4 cities with the quarterfinal on July 11th. So, I tomorrow, obviously, it's a big deal. We're going to be out there. It's fun. It's leading up to the culmination of what has been a long time coming. Once the United States got the bid for the World Cup, then it was which cities are going to be hosting, and really North America, right?
Yeah.
Getting the bid, because it's Canada and Mexico as well. But which cities in the United States are going to be hosting once North America got the winning bid? And from that point to then tomorrow and Saturday, finding out where the United States is, and then which countries will be playing in Kansas City. And especially if there's a country or two that has 2 games in Kansas City, you might see that be the base. Or just simply, you know what, we've got 1 game here, 1 game there, 1 game there. We play in these multiple different cities, and the easiest way to get to all of them is going to be based and stationed in Kansas City. So let's go there, because there are here in Kansas City, we can host multiple countries to base with all of the facilities we have around town.
And I'll throw this out for someone. It happened last time when we did it at we had that event, and I said, first person to come up to me, and we'll drink a beer together.
That's right.
If you decide, hey, I'm going to be there, and you get a little thirsty, I will drink a neutral, a Cutwater, a beer. I'll drink something with you.
Okay.
I'm just that generous of a man. I'm not saying I'm going to pay for it because I have no idea if we're going to get it for free or not.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. The first person to come up to me, I'll buy one, even if it's not free. I'll buy you a beer. We can drink a neutral, a Cutwater, a beer together.
Good for you, man.
I'm a generous man.
Yeah, no, I've always said that you were willing to drink beer with people.
I think it's one of my best qualities.
Yeah. One of your best qualities is that you are willing to drink beer with people. I've always felt that about you, man. It's constant. 913-912-4810. We'll be there tomorrow at No Other Pub. The living room there at KC Live, the Power and Light District, is going to be so much fun, and a lot of things going on with prizes and entertainment and some live commentary from the people that would know. I mean, you got Beasler and Conrad, but really more than that, you've got Nate Bukaty.
Yeah.
So who do you want more to weigh in on the World Cup and experience of that than Nate? I mean, you can get a little anecdotal from Beasler and Conrad. Oh, here's what I did when I played. Just like, who hasn't played in a World Cup? Am I right? But Nate's going to be there too.
Who has a football field in their backyard?
Thank you. Although I think Beasler and Conrad might actually have a football field in their backyard. They might have a pitch in their backyard. My son and I, we have a pitch from time to time. Hey, Dad, you want to have a pitch?
How about this?
I'd like that, son, because I built him a mound. Go ahead.
You know what's even better? It'll take your mind off of the Chiefs' season.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah, talk about another football.
It'll take your mind
Different type
off
of
of the previous Kansas and Missouri basketball losses.
Yeah, typically we go into a football season saying the Chiefs are pretty much guaranteed to make the playoffs. Well, we know the United States are guaranteed to make the World Cup. Great. Awesome. We know they're in. They didn't even have to qualify. They are so good. So good. The World Cup was like, FIFA was like, you know what? United States, you're so good, you're going to make it anyway. You don't even have to qualify. I believe that's how it went, right? Has nothing to do with the host countries or anything. It's just that they were like, United States, badass team. Just get in there. Just go. We can't possibly have a World Cup without the United States being part of it, right? I mean, that's what they did. I'm going to assume. I don't care what anybody else says. That's what I'm going with. That's my truth. All right, that's my reality.
Speak your truth,
Thank you
Kason.
very much. No Other Pub is where we will be tomorrow from 10 to 2. Should be a lot of fun, a packed show. We'll be talking football and football tomorrow throughout the show. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more football and the tendencies of the Houston Texans. We'll talk with Matt Lane coming up at 11 o'clock. I want to get into some college football and what we saw yesterday. I think coaches at their current schools have made a lot more money in the next number of years based on what we have seen in Happy Valley in Pennsylvania. We'll get into that as well. More Zone coming up next.
Missouri. Come on, baby. We are live. FanDuel Sportsbook live and ready to roll in the Show Me State. And guess what? They're celebrating with a little something for everyone all this week. Every customer gets a no-sweat bet every day. That's right. No matter what you are betting on, if it does not hit, you'll get bonus bets back to keep the action going. So let's say you're in Missouri tonight. Let's say you're playing Golden Tee tonight. I wonder who's doing that. Yeah, it'll be me. I'll be placing that no sweat bet in Missouri, rocking Golden Tee, rocking and watching some Thursday night football, and doing it all on FanDuel. And not just that, they have a really great deal, a great bet for you guys all tonight. There's a no-brainer boost. No-brainer boost. 1+ point scored in the Lions versus Cowboys game tonight. It's a $50 max bet plus 100 odds. So get in on that. FanDuel is trying to help you. So whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or whatever you are into, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and built for every kind of fan. The interface is quick, the payouts are fast, and the expertise and experience is top tier. So download FanDuel or visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. FanDuel Sportsbook, now live in Missouri.
21 plus and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Opt-in required each day. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $20. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy coming up at 11 o'clock. We'll hang out with Matt Lane, talk with him about the Chiefs. A lot of things to get into. Wondering which countries will be playing in Kansas City. We know already out of the groups that Canada is Group A, Mexico's Group B, and the U.S. is Group D. So we know that...
Who's C?
Nobody yet. That's what we'll find out tomorrow. Yes.
Let me be a smartass.
Yes, I know. And with the United States, or Kansas City, I should say, hosting 2 games from Group J and then 1 from E and 1 from F, that means that 3 of these teams will be in the groups that will play in Kansas City. Doesn't necessarily mean those games, but 3 of these teams, okay? So out of pot 1, which are the best in the world. So here are all the teams: Spain, Argentina, France, England, Brazil, Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, Germany. 3 of those will be placed in a pot or in a group that plays in Kansas City.
Wow.
3 of those teams. Doesn't necessarily mean they will be the game from that group that will play in Kansas City.
Sure.
Because out of Group E, there's only 1.
There's a chance.
Yeah. Out of Group J, though, if one of those, whichever the one is in Group J, pretty good chance that country is going to be playing in Kansas City, since there's obviously those 2 games that'll be played out of that particular group here in KC. It'd be frustrating, and I think it would be missing the mark if we see the groups and the teams in the groups that'll be coming to Kansas City in J, E, and F. If you took the worst matchups and then said, okay, now we'll throw those in Kansas City, that would be pretty annoying, especially with it being the soccer capital of the United States. Oh, by the way, hey, tomorrow, it's open to the public, right? So that means St. Louis, you guys can come on over and see the soccer capital of the United States and come in and watch the World Cup draw in the city that will be hosting World Cup games. Come on, St. Louis. Hey, lower cases, come on and see what the uppercase looks like. See what the capitals look like. Come on over. Just drive west. And on your way west, stop anywhere in the area here and enjoy good barbecue.
Yeah, you get better barbecue,
and pizza.
Better pizza,
soccer, football,
an actual football team.
That's right. 100%.
Everything. Yeah. We'll show you how do you actually cut bagels. I don't know why you cut bagels so weird over there.
Not sure what that means, but just in general,
they're weird.
In general,
yeah.
If those that are in St. Louis, if you guys just want to drive west. And go from the lowercase to the uppercase, it's right here. It's open to the pub. You don't have to live in the soccer capital of the United States to go to tomorrow's event.
Best
you can live in the
in
lowercase.
Baseball.
Right. You can live in the lowercase. Okay? And then come to the capital. You can do that. It's open.
I will allow them to bring toasted ravs. I'll allow it.
Just as long as they check their ego at the door and know what to say, capital. With those games hosted at Kansas City Stadium.
Yeah.
What would Andy Reid call Kansas City Stadium? GH Field?
GH Field. I'm excited. How many letters does Andy Reid get today?
Tickle your tonsils.
Well, he doesn't talk today, but what about tomorrow?
Tomorrow. How many letters does he get tomorrow?
Yeah, I think people will have their tonsils tickled tomorrow during the World Cup draw. I hope that's the case. And if not, Nate will be there to help. So, get you guys pumped, ready to go. Matt Lane next. All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Coming up later on this hour, we'll hear from Dave Tobe, Steve Spagnuolo, Matt Nagy, Chris Jones. They get ready for the latest in the pivotal game of the season, real turning point of the season for the Kansas City Chiefs, 4 weeks in running now, and us talking about now, I guess, 5 weeks in running with this Chiefs team in a pretty big game that has huge implications for the playoffs. Let's talk with Matt Lane, KC Sports Network, KC Laboratory Podcast, joining us here in the zone on this Thursday. Matt, what is up, brother? How are you, sir?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. It's not too cold out here for me today. No snow as of yet. I know you guys back there might be having some, but we're generally doing pretty good. Just kind of tired of these Chiefs needing to win some football games that they're not winning.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. How was your Thanksgiving outside of the 3 hours of Chiefs football? I mean, hopefully it didn't ruin the day for you.
Yeah, so we had done some Thanksgiving stuff a little bit early, so we were actually on our way home right as the game started, got home around halftime, and got to watch the rest of the second half, at home. So it didn't ruin the family stuff of Thanksgiving.
Good.
We'd already got that out of the way, which was good, because there's nothing quite like a brutal Chiefs loss to sink a holiday, and it's a good thing the Chiefs don't play on any more major holidays this year.
Yeah, right. No holidays whatsoever. I mean, I kicked my family out of the house, sent them to a hotel once they lost. I mean, it was over. It's their fault. All of it is ruined. No, we celebrate Thanksgiving on a Friday, so I was able to just sit back, watch. And quite frankly, Matt, I'll be honest. I picked the Chiefs last Wednesday, the last show that we had before that game. I picked the Chiefs to win, but I had talked about during the week that it was a game that scared me. And as the days went along, I got more confident because I thought, this is a Dallas team that plays so much zone that Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to do what he wants against this team. And that gives the opportunity for the Chiefs defense to play with a lead, which hasn't happened often in some of these bigger games. But when it has happened, they've really excelled outside of the first possession of the game when teams have gone down and scored. What a strange trip that was in the first possession. The Chiefs get a touchdown or get an interception, and then a couple plays later, a touchdown. Oh, and then the Cowboys offense turns it on. It's been the exact opposite this year. So I said a couple of Fridays ago that if we woke up on Friday morning after Thanksgiving and the Chiefs were 6-6, as long as that loss was to the Cowboys, they are still alive. That's what happened. So part of me wasn't all that surprised of the loss. What did you make of that? Were you that surprised in the loss to the Cowboys and what happened in those fourth quarters as another one-score, loss for the Chiefs this year?
Yeah, there's so much to unpack with it. The Chiefs could easily have afforded to lose one more game, and the Dallas Cowboys game is the one that was obviously the most losable of the bunch. And so, yeah, a shorter week on a holiday, playing on the road against the Cowboys, a team that kind of seemed like they were peaking at the right time. You can kind of get over that loss, especially if the Chiefs go on to rebound and maybe win a couple games here. That loss kind of will be in the rear view and won't matter. The issue that I have with it coming out of it is it's not that they lost. It's that this team continues to not build on any of the successes that they do have. So, we get that really good end of the fourth quarter and overtime from the Chiefs team, and you just kind of want to see them build on that. You want to see them take what they learned from that spot, what they did well, and translate that to the next game. And if you lose, you lose. But it just kind of felt like for different stretches of that game, none of that was there. There's not this progressive development that they're showing or progressive improvement week after week. It's a little bit forward, a little bit back, and that makes sense for sports. That's how, progression isn't linear in almost any sport, but it really seems like this Chiefs team has got a flat line right now because it's just, every time there's an up, there's steps right back down. So I think it's the lack of progression that's really kind of dragging me down right now before they have a very tough matchup coming up this week.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll talk about that a little bit. And I talked about this in the first hour, in the first segment, Matt, that the jumping off point was Dan Orlovsky's tweet about, look what's happened in the fourth quarter. The Chiefs defense is not making plays that they have made in the past, and this is why they are, struggling to make the playoffs and sitting at 500 is because, they couldn't get a stop against the Bills. They couldn't get a stop against the Cowboys. They couldn't get a stop against the Jags. They couldn't get a stop against the Chargers, name it, defensively there. And one of the things that I think is missing, Matt, is this is a team that all too often has had these lulls in the middle of the game, right? We look back and go, man, they had 4 straight possessions where they just punted or didn't do anything. They didn't take advantage of the end of half, beginning of third quarter, which at times earlier this year they were doing. And they were converting in the red zone with touchdowns, the things that they were good at. And I think people would be surprised, Matt, if I told them that the Chiefs in their 6 losses in one-score games, they have outscored their opponents in the fourth quarter by 6 points. They're +6 in the fourth quarter in their 6 losses. And so we focus on the fourth quarter. The problem is, Matt, they're -39 entering the fourth quarter in those 6 losses. And so often we can get caught up in George Pickens slant, Rashee Rice drop, this happened in that one. Chris Jones didn't have outside contain. Brian Thomas catch down the sideline for the Jags. The stumble Ruski for Trevor Lawrence. We could talk about some of those things, but the first 3 quarters are really what is killing the Chiefs, and it's making it, Matt, to where they have to play perfect football. And I think the forest for the trees is being missed if we only focus on the fourth.
And this is the same conversation that we had last year. It's just kind of in reverse, right?
Yes.
Like, none of that culminated until the Super Bowl, and then you saw, okay, it can go bad. Like, you saw all the bad things happen in the Super Bowl at once, but this was the same story as last year. It's a Super Bowl contending team, one team that is, the best in the league, probably shouldn't have the majority of their games hinge on the outcome of 1, 2, or 3 different plays, right? And so last year when the Chiefs were making all of those plays that they needed to make to win all these one-score games, it was awesome for the records. It was awesome for their standings in the playoffs. But what it said is that you were kind of playing a bunch of teams evenly. You were playing a bunch of teams into a stalemate, and you made the legitimately couple of plays better than them in the right moments, and that's awesome in the moment. But at some point, you need to put space between yourself and, like, the average NFL team. This year, it's the same thing. They're playing a bunch of teams to a stalemate, or in some of these cases, they're entering the fourth quarter down 2 scores. They're scoring late, and then their defense is like they never get the ball with the back with a chance to be in a 1-score game. They're in a 2-score game. They score. Defense can't get off the field, so it's not even sometimes as close as it looks. But, like, now they're in these situations where they're playing teams to essentially a stalemate, and then they're not making those couple plays. But if you want to be a Super Bowl team, you shouldn't be playing the Cowboys to a stalemate. You shouldn't be playing the Jaguars to a stalemate where one play swings the entire outcome of the game. You theoretically should be better than that if the ultimate goal or expectation is to get and win the Super Bowl. And so I think that's, like, where we have to reset our minds on this and think, okay, it's not about 1 to 2 plays. It's not just about the late fourth quarter. From whistle to whistle during this entire 60 minutes of gameplay, the Chiefs aren't outplaying their opponents. They are not looking like a better team. They are essentially playing at an even or slightly below even level in some of these situations.
Yeah, and their 6 losses, they are -29 in the second and third quarter. I mean, they're just in those middle portions. That is where they're starting off better, and they're scoring more points in the 6 losses than their opponents in the fourth quarter. But the second and third quarter, they are just getting beat. And it's killing them. And last year, that's not what was happening. They were playing with a lead. And so it's like, oh, the defense didn't get a stop against the Chargers. They never got the ball back. Defense didn't get a stop against the Eagles. Defense didn't get a stop against the Bills. Defense didn't get on and on and on. But you know what? Last year, Matt, defense didn't get a stop against the Ravens. It was the end of the game and the toe that, ultimately was the last part. But they entered the fourth quarter with a double-digit lead. The defense didn't get a stop against the Bucs. But they had a lead, and the Bucs came back just to tie it, not to end the game. Defense didn't get a stop against the Panthers, but they had a lead, not just to come back and or to end the game. It was a lead, tied, and then the Chiefs went and won the game. Defense got a stop against the Raiders. It was sort of a self-inflicted wound by the Raiders, but they got a stop. But they also had a lead in that particular game. The Chargers, the defense didn't get a stop. They were down by 1, and then they banked a field goal in because they had enough time to go down and win the game. We have seen this team, and defensively last year, that quote-unquote couldn't get the stop at the right time. Falcons, they did. Bengals, they did. But that's where it gets into those crucial moments. But last year, they're playing with a lead, and the other teams are chasing them. If they don't get a stop, that's okay. Mahomes has the ball back with time to go down and score, kick a field goal, go and win the game. This year, you don't get a stop. The game is over, and it's like, what the hell's the defense doing? They're not coming through in ways that they were last year, and I push back on that a little bit.
Yeah, and that's where I think it becomes a big difference. Like, when I look at when I do look at one-score games, and this started a couple of years back when people were touting how the Chiefs only beat certain teams by one score. Well, is it a one-score game in that a team had the ball with a chance to tie or win the game, and the defense had to make a stop, or was it a one-score game that you scored to bring it within 7, but then never got the ball back?
Yep.
That's not a true one-score game to me if you never have a team never has the football to actually tie or win the game, and that's what happened a lot last year or the years prior. The Chiefs are out ahead. Yeah, the defense might start bending a little bit and giving up a score, but you weren't giving the ball back to the opponents a ton to actively tie or win the game. And if they did tie or win the game, a lot of times the Chiefs were the ones in the lead. They would give Mahomes a chance to come back down and get a game-winning field goal or touchdown or what have it be. This year, the Chiefs are chasing because, like you said, they have just not played particularly well in the second and third quarter, as it seems. And once they get within that one score, the defense is unable to get off the field. And similar to the offense, the defense just kind of seems to be figured out by the league right now. And so it's really hard in these important, clutch time situations for the defense to come out and execute well, because it does seem like the NFL has the book on what Spags wants to do, and they know how to attack it. And I think that's why we keep getting into these same situations over and over.
Matt Lane is our guest, KC Sports Network, KC Laboratory Podcast. Okay, let's talk about now what this Chiefs team is. And, boy, you want to talk about the worst time for the Chiefs to be suffering all these injuries at one particular unit and a terrible matchup. This has the feel of the Bucs and Eagles Super Bowls in matchup-wise, offensive line banged up versus stud defensive front. How, if at all, can the Chiefs mitigate, slow down, limit the pass rush of the Texans if the offensive line includes Wanya Morris, Caliendo, and more?
Boy, that's the $1 million question. Even with a healthy offensive line, that's a very difficult task. And now we're talking about potentially starting 3 backups, one of which is a third stringer, and Wanya Morris at a position that we have seen him play not particularly well in the past. If Juwan Taylor's unable to play, and Morris has to kind of take his spot, but on the left side, it's not looking great for the Chiefs. And so then you start to think, okay, how do you get around this? How do you mitigate a pass rush? And a lot of times you can go on the run, leaning on the run game a little bit. You a quick passing game that just gets the ball out to your playmakers. But then you're still going up against the Houston Texans defense that is very good against the run, that is one of the most aggressive and one of the better tackling teams that is going to come downhill against these short passes. So it's not as if you can throw a bunch of screens, a bunch of little hitches, and expect to pick up extra yards and continuously stay ahead of the sticks. They're not going to let your little swing route go for 5 yards and get you into 2nd and 5. They're going to come up and hit you guys. So it's not an easy matchup in terms of trying to mitigate the pass rush because that secondary is so talented, because they are coached so aggressively. It really might be one of these situations where the Chiefs need to rely on a run game and stick to it. As inefficient as it might be, as 4 yards at a run, as a clip down the entire field as it might be a time where, and we say this a lot about Andy, but it's usually as in like a pairing with the pass game. This might be one of the few times where they directly need to rely on this run game to mosey their way down the field, because I don't know how they slow down this pass rush without it.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I was watching the Texans and Colts game again the other night just to, get an idea of what the Texans were doing, what the Colts were doing. And what was scary for me, Matt, and this is where it goes back to, hey, a dynamic running back or not. And it's like, well, will Andy Reid even, give him the ball? It's like, well, it's not necessarily about how often the person gets the ball. It's also about how does that running back maximize those particular touches. And while, the numbers weren't, amazing for, Jonathan Taylor in the game against the Houston Texans, and say, well, Jonathan Taylor was unbelievable. And that's the reason why they were even close in that game against the Texans. He had 21 carries and 85 yards in that game rushing. But Matt, what's worrisome for me is the amount of times Jonathan Taylor turned a 1-yard loss into a 3-yard gain, a 1-yard gain into a 4-yard gain, because he's Jonathan Taylor. And if we're talking about a run game, and especially a team like the Colts that was having trouble doing that, I just don't know how Kareem Hunt or Isaiah Pacheco are going to be able to do the things to even make it, instead of 2nd and 11, it's 2nd and 7, because Jonathan Taylor was able to do some certain things to gain those yards that we know Pacheco and Kareem Hunt just aren't at that level.
Yeah, and that's even, and with the Jonathan Taylor thing or a lot of other teams, if there is a real chance that he might break off a 20, 30, 40-yard run at some point in time, not only does that garner a little bit more respect from the defense, but as an offense, it's easier to lean on all of these 1, 3, 4-yard runs when you're anticipating or you know that at some point in time it is possible to get an explosive play out of it. You can change the field. You can make an impact play. Whereas with the Chiefs, their big play is, okay, we got 10 yards, we got a new set of downs off of this run, but it's nothing that actively swings the drive. It doesn't swing the game. And so that is where I do think it becomes a little difficult for the Chiefs. And regardless of how much we want to blame Andy for not leaning in the run game, we do have a set of running backs that don't particularly maximize what's available for them. And then even when they do, it still isn't big game-changing plays. It just kind of extends the drive. It just moves the chains, which is good. But when that is the high of your run game, it is really difficult to sit back and want to lean on that for 40 plays, knowing that you're never really going to make that kind of big dynamic splash.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones was only sacked one time in that game, but there was a lot of play action, rolling the pocket, screens, quick passes, and that makes sense if you're going up against the Houston Texans, and I expect to see the same thing with the Kansas City Chiefs. Matt Lane is our guest. What do you make of Andy Reid saying that, if Jawan Taylor can't go, then it will be Wanya Morris at left tackle and Jalen Moore at right tackle, when we already know when Josh Simmons missed those 4 games, Jalen Moore was the left tackle. That's the guy they liked at that spot. What do you make of, potentially Wanya Morris at the left spot and Jalen Moore at the right side?
I wanted to say, I kind of understand from the process of if next season you're expecting Jalen Moore to be a right tackle for you, you want to see him in a live game. I kind of tried to sell myself on that initially, but the more I sat with it, it just doesn't make sense because you have an entire offseason for that. You have preseason games for that. I really don't think I understand the decision that takes a guy that was mostly a right tackle in college and moving him to the left side, where we have seen him in Wanya Morris in the NFL really struggle. He has never looked as comfortable on the left side of the offensive line as he did on the right side if we go back and just look how he moved in college. And so we've seen him fail on the left side of the NFL. Why are they even contemplating going that route and then moving Jalen Moore from the only side he has played in the NFL until this season, the left side, over to the right side, especially if, in theory, Jawan Taylor might be able to play. There's a chance Jawan Taylor's going to play. Why would we not spend the entire week just saying Jalen Moore's our left tackle?
Yeah.
And that way we know Josh Simmons isn't playing. We have our starting left tackle for the next minimum 4 weeks ready, and Jalen Moore. And then the right side we'll figure out on game day if Taylor's able to play or not. It's a very interesting decision that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, no matter how I kind of try to approach it.
I feel that a lot of, fans and analysts, whether pro or, amateur, are vindicated when I see Mitchell Schwartz tweeting out going, what? I don't know. This makes no sense to me. And it's like, okay, well, if Mitchell Schwartz is saying the same thing, then I don't feel bad. What comes to mind is Bob Uecker in Major League Two when, Wild Thing gets in the game late and Parkman's on deck and there's 2 men on and he goes, I want Parkman. He's like, but Beck's up. No, I'll walk him. I want Parkman. And then Bob Uecker goes, well, he's going to walk Beck to pitch to Parkman because obviously Taylor's thinking, I don't know what the hell he's thinking. And so that's what I keep coming up with, Matt, of, well, they're going to put Wanya Morris at left tackle and Jalen Moore at right tackle. And obviously Reed's thinking, I don't know what the hell he's thinking, And when Mitchell Schwartz is tweeting about it, the same thing, I feel there's a little more weight behind it than just me going, I can't put my finger on what the reason is.
No, absolutely. And I'm right there with you and Mitchell in that spot. And it is very much a head scratcher that you can't really, I don't think there's any dots to connect, right? And not to make, into an entirely, make a mountain out of a molehill, but I feel like the Chiefs this year are full of so many of those exact kind of decisions or maneuvers where it's like, I just don't understand where they're coming from to arrive at this point. Right? I think offensively, it's 2nd and 19, and they run a 3-man route concept that's all 5-yard hits.
Oh, my God.
I can't figure out for the life of me what the goal or what the process was to arrive on that. Or hey, we need to try Christian Fulton. It's not working, but instead of going back to Noel Williams, who had played well, and Trent McDuffie in the slot, we're going to try Shamari Connor in the slot because Christian Roland Wallace is out. It's just some of the decisions they've made this year are very difficult to even understand why they are making them, and this one might take the cake.
Yeah, I don't know what Noel Williams did against Buffalo that he no longer gets to play anymore. I mean, 44 snaps, 67% of the game played. Against the Raiders, he played a lot, but that was really because of that game getting out of hand. But still, they put him in there, played almost the entire game, and he's played 7 snaps since then. I just do not get that. Matt Lane, KC Sports Network, KC Laboratory Podcast. Before we get your breakdown of the game, I'll give credit to the morning show, New Day with SSJ. Steven asked this question, and I'm going to steal it because as soon as he asked it, I'm like, ooh, I want to ask Matt that question. You get your choice. So we know Josh Simmons is on IR. You get your choice of one guy. You either have Trey or Jawan healthy for the game on Sunday. Who are you choosing?
I think it's pretty easily Jawan Taylor for me, just because I have seen Wanya Morris play left tackle. It sounds like he is going to play left tackle in this game. If in this hypothetical, Jawan Taylor is out if I choose Trey Smith, I cannot decide to put Wanya Morris on the field against Daniil Hunter, against Will Anderson at left tackle. I think the Chiefs have struggled enough this year with getting tight ends and running backs out into routes very late, and they're running a lot of 3-man, 3.5-man route concepts. I don't think they will beat this Houston Texans team if they have to do that every single play by helping Wanya Morris constantly. So, yeah, it would be Jawan Taylor, so you can at least have Jalen Moore and Jawan Taylor as your bookends. You can deal with Mike Caliendo playing right guard for the time being and just make it work. It'll be difficult, but you can make it work. I don't know if it'll be functional if you have 2 backup offensive tackles in there.
Because if Jawan Taylor is playing, in theory, the morning of the draft in April, you would only be down 1 starter in the game for the Chiefs, because morning of the draft, Jalen Moore was starting left tackle until they got Josh Simmons. So you would only we'd be talking about Caliendo in for Trey Smith is the only one you're missing, but you'd have Jalen Moore and Jawan Taylor in the game there. Matt Lane is our guest. Matt, the Chiefs have 1 sack in the last 3 games, and that was in the first quarter against the Broncos. So 11 quarters, and that was the first drive for the Broncos too. So we can go and look at all the possessions for these teams without a sack. Have teams figured Spags out in the blitz? Is it the wrist for George Karlaftis? Is it that 90 is just not good enough to be on an active NFL roster in general, let alone this one? What do you look at? What do you make of that? And how can the Chiefs, because they terrorized C.J. Stroud in the divisional round last year, how can the Chiefs get close to doing that in this game when they just haven't brought the quarterback down?
Yeah, it feels like the Chiefs' blitz game this year has been highly inefficient across the board. And there's pressure numbers out there that say their 4-man pass rush has been very good in terms of pressuring quarterbacks. I just don't see it. And I think the fact that they keep blitzing in all these high-leverage situations tells you that they also don't see it. So the Chiefs' inability to get pressure is going to be a problem. The Houston Texans' offensive line isn't good. It's been rather poor for large parts of this year, and they've played a little better the last few weeks, but I wouldn't say they've gone up against the best pass rushes in the NFL. So if you are to win this game, I do think you're going to have a strong performance from the defense, and it will definitely start with heating up C.J. Stroud. He will take big back-breaking sacks frequently. He will put the ball in danger if he's under pressure a lot. It's just, how are the Chiefs going to do it? Because they have not been good at pressuring the opposing quarterbacks in a meaningful way this season. I think I saw a stat that they're essentially like one of the bottom 5 teams in pressure rate when they're blitzing this year. Their EPA per pass attempt when they are blitzing this year is one of the worst in the NFL, and that's very un-Spagnuolo-like numbers. And I don't think it's his doing. I just think the NFL has kind of figured out what he likes to do and where it's coming from, and teams with smart quarterbacks, like I think C.J. Stroud is, have gotten a lot of answers ready for them. And so I think what they blitzed the Cowboys 18 times this past week, and like 16 of them were essentially positive plays for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Those kind of numbers cannot repeat themselves in this game, or it's going to get ugly real fast with the way that defense is.
Yeah, they got one really awesome positive play out of a blitz right out of the gates, and then nothing after that. Matt, what do you think happens on Sunday? How do the Chiefs attack this Texans team, and who do you think wins?
We've been saying it for a month now, but I mean, it's a gut check game for the Chiefs. Like every week up until now, and even the past weeks, it would have been nice to have this, show up and be true. But this one is one of the ones where you lose this game. That's 3 out of 4 out of your bye week. You are lost essentially all but one tiebreaker going into the AFC wildcard picture. I understand mathematically they are still alive if they lose this game, but like spiritually, you kind of are down on the mat after this. It might essentially be over. So they got to find a way to just come out with the right kind of energy, effort, and like determination. No mistakes. Play clean football. No turnovers. Limit the penalties. All the silly stuff that I don't think really separates great teams from, average teams or good teams. If you really are a great team, the Chiefs just aren't that right now. They do need to beat the Texans on the margins. They need to win the turnover battle. They need to win the penalty battle. They need to win, third or fourth and short conversions and stuff like that. So they got to play small ball. They probably got to control this football a little bit to slow down the Houston Texans pass rush. I am going to take the Chiefs in this game. I do think their backs are as up against the wall as we have seen it in essentially every situation besides, last year's Super Bowl. They've been in this spot. They have been able to step up over the last 7 years. Give me the Chiefs in this one, 22-19, and some kind of very odd close game where it's a lot of field goals going back and forth.
It's crazy, 22-19, because I was thinking this morning, I'm like, well, Vegas has the Chiefs 3.5 and 41.5, so they're thinking something like 22-19 is where they think it. Like, that's crazy. Matt, you're the man as always. Appreciate the time. Enjoy the football, and let's hope that our next conversation after the Chargers game is talking about an 8-6 team with 3 games remaining and a chance to make the playoffs. Thank you, Matt. You're the man.
Thank you so much for having me on. Go Chiefs.
All right, there you go. Matt Lane. Great stuff from him, as always. KC Sports Network, KC Laboratory Podcast. He's just, it's Vegas all the way through. Matt Vegas Lane is what they say. 22-19. I was looking at this morning. I'm like, okay, so 3.5, 41.5. So they're thinking about 22-19 right around there is where the game will be 1 point here or there either way. And that's what Matt Lane went with, 22-19.
Smart man.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I haven't decided on a score yet for tomorrow or who's going to win, but I have a hard time seeing the Chiefs getting into the 20s and deeper. Like this Chiefs offense struggled with a healthy offensive line.
Yeah, but have I told you about my big brain theory?
Don't put your Sterling stamp on this one, please.
No, I lost the Sterling stamp again yesterday.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Stop.
Vanderbilt over.
Put it on the Texans, please.
That's a great call. Put your Sterling. Texans will get over 2 sacks in this game. Sterling stamp.
I'll put my stamp all over.
You're just talking about actual letters, envelopes that you're sending through the mail. Yeah, that makes sense. Snail mail.
I just this.
You're speechless. I get it.
No, I'm big braining this. With the injuries to the offensive line, Andy Reid's going to have to get creative. They can't try and fool themselves into thinking that they could handle one-on-one Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. So now you're going to actually have a creative game plan. The creativity shall shine through in spades, and playing spades. Too. Those are trumps, which means that they're going to be better than the clubs, which are the Texans.
Yeah.
Boom.
Unfortunately, it feels like
hearts.
No. It feels like we have greatly over-exaggerated how many books we thought we were going to get in this particular hand. That's what's happened with this Chiefs team. Each and every week. I'm good for... No, you're not. No, you're not, dude. No, you're not. I'd rather... Are you going to sandbag? Huh? All right. Done with the spades conversation. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. Continue rolling. More Zone coming up next. Well, I'll tell you this much, Missouri. Your moment, it's here because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is now live in your state. Now you can make every game even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, props, and more, all from your phone, all safe, secure, and easy to use. And how about this? From your phone at the game. Yeah, sitting there at the game going, oh, what's going to happen on this next drive? I feel like this next drive is going to be a touchdown for the Chiefs. Boom. Have some fun. You can do it right. You don't have to leave Arrowhead, drive to Kansas, place the bet on the next drive, then drive back to Arrowhead. It seems like it's a dumb thing to do. You don't have to do that. You can just do it right there from your seat, or as Steven and a lot of people, I believe, in the press box will be doing right there from their seat and placing some bets and having some fun. And Missouri fans know the game day, tailgate, noise, passion. Now with DraftKings Sportsbook, you bring that same energy to every snap, every touchdown, every win. Right now, new Missouri customers bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting, no nonsense. Just pure action powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app, and if you haven't checked it out yet, they're giving you $50. Legit, giving you $50. They have boosted for Sunday's Chiefs and Texans game a yard of total offense in the game. If either team gains 1 yard of offense, they have boosted that to plus 100 with a max bet of 50, meaning you bet $50, somebody gains a yard in the game, you get 100 back. They're giving you $50 at DraftKings Sportsbook. How about that, Missouri? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 810WHB. The crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Kansas only. Eligibility and restrictions apply on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy. Thank you to Matt Lane joining us in the previous segment, breaking down the Kansas City Chiefs, and hopefully they do not break down against the Houston Texans. But again, that's sort of where you get into the luck of health that the Chiefs had on their side that they don't have moving forward right now. And they got to be able to survive it, figure it out, get it done, because if not, then their season is essentially done. And that's unfortunate, because I would say I never imagined a season with a healthy Patrick Mahomes that the Chiefs didn't make the playoffs. Now, I've seen the dumbass commentary that's there about if Mahomes misses the playoffs in a healthy year, then he can never be the GOAT because of Tom Brady didn't do that.
It's absurd.
Well, Tom Brady also didn't have the Broncos and Chargers like this year in his particular division. But still, there shouldn't be a year where a healthy Mahomes misses the playoffs, especially when you're talking about 3 straight Super Bowls. And that's unfortunately what the Chiefs are in danger of happening. Because with the loss, it drops to 20%. With a win, you jump over 50% to 60%. I mean, you win out, obviously, you're in the playoffs. I think 4-1 can get it done if that loss is to the Broncos. But you do need help from a lot of different people and things along the way for you to make the playoffs if that is the case. They've got to find a way to make the plays when it matters, but we can't only focus on the fourth quarter as saying that's when it matters. Again, the stat that I brought up with Matt Lane there, the Chiefs and the focus on the fourth quarter, Chiefs have outscored their opponents this year in their 6 losses in the fourth quarter. Entering the fourth quarter, they are 39 points down. They are combined negative 39 entering the fourth quarter in those 6 losses. You can outscore your opponents in the fourth quarter, but if you're down by a decent amount and you're scrambling, playing catch-up, odds are not in your favor, Katniss. And last year was the exact opposite, and that's the inverse of what we were talking about. So, they've got to find a way to get it done. But also, Sterling, real quick before we take a break, I watched the game again, the Texans and Colts game, and one of the things that stood out is we're talking about Breece Hall, this guy, that guy, whatever. Jonathan Taylor had 85 yards on 21 carries, so it wasn't a great day. But the amount of times Jonathan Taylor got the ball handed to him, and it was like, oop, there's a loss. That was a 3-yard gain.
Sure. So
2nd and 7 instead of 2nd and 11. Oh, he picked up a yard. Oh, wow, he just slipped through that tackle. And how did he get 4 yards out of that? Now it's 2nd and 6 instead of 2nd and 9. Chiefs don't have that. So they can commit to the run game, but that's the Colts offensive line running game that was doing that against the Texans, where the Chiefs have 3 backup linemen potentially and trying to run with inferior running backs to what the Colts do as a running game. And you talk about a team that puts pressure on the quarterback like the Texans do. There's so many things that really scare me about this, but it's still the heart of a champion, heart of a lion, and they're not dead yet, and it's hard to pick them to be dead.
I could see the Chiefs being efficient and effective running the football in this game. Jalen Moore is a better run blocker. Wanya Morris is a good run blocker. He just can't pass block. Wanya Morris has graded out very well in run blocking. Mm-hmm. We know Kingsley Sumaia can run block. We know Creed's Creed. You can make an argument this is actually a better run blocking group. Now, pass pro is going to be an issue. We know that. No 2 ways around it. But you could make the argument now, again, Caliendo for Trey, that's a huge downgrade. But at the tackle spot, you could make the argument that this is a better run blocking group. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back, continue rolling. We'll hear from the Kansas City Chiefs coming up next. All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, hanging out on this Thursday edition of the show. Let's head out to the Chiefs practice facility, and we start with the special teams coordinator, Dave Tobe, at the podium now.
One of the decisions was to punt, over on the Dallas side of the field.
Yep.
Maybe some thought about giving Harrison a shot from 60, 61, 2, where.
We have a yard line every game, and our yard line was the 40-yard line. So 58 was the demarcation longest that we wanted to go there. And then we wanted to play field position, obviously, and I was happy the way Ariza did a nice job. I mean, the whole game really. We were able to create field position that entire game. So I mean, I was pleased with that.
How far has he come on that? Even
A lot. I mean, he's come a long way. I mean, we had a lot of touchbacks last year. This year, I think he's only had one. And it was in that last game. But still, the 4 that he put in there were really good.
We haven't had a chance to talk to you since Damian Pierce came in on the practice squad.
Yep.
Is he somebody who could factor into special teams?
He's been hitting some kick returns for us. And he's just getting his feet wet with everything we're doing on offense. So it'll be a minute before he gets to go. I mean, I'm sure he wants to play badly. I haven't talked to him about it, but I can only imagine that he wants to play. But it's just it's just a matter of the offense, learning the offense, and then for me, he could probably play, and do some things, but I mean, he's just not there yet.
We've seen some rotation. Speaking of Matt's question about the kickoff return, return group, what's led behind that, and do you think you found?
I just like to get
solution?
some fresh legs. I got 2 guys that are dynamic. I think with Bouchard and Thornton, and and then Nico is just a solid, like I've talked about before, a solid, really good blocker. He's going to get the yards that's blocked up, and I'm happy having him back there, at least as one of the guys, and then the other guys I've been rotating, as you've been noticing. And I was happy with Bouchard got in there, and he had a nice return. The bounce, 33-yarder I think it was, but he's going to get a little bit more as we go.
Is it fair to say that Smith and Thornton maybe more than Remigio provide a home run capability?
Yeah. I mean, I think Nico. Nico can hit him. I mean, in the last time we played Houston, I mean, he had that long return to start the game off. I mean, that was a great return. So I mean, he could also bust him too. He just doesn't have that gear. I mean, that those other guys have that third gear. That he doesn't have.
Coach has talked a bunch this year about being close, a couple little things here and there, and it seems to me maybe something different in most games. You guys have had some issues, a couple things here and there. At this point of the year, are you satisfied with how you kind of clean things up?
If anything, this year we've been inconsistent. Last game was a clean game. We had no penalties. And that's a positive. But we've had no penalties before, and then we came back with 3 penalties. So we need to compile some games here with clean, and most importantly W's. If everybody does that, we'll be where we need to be. I'll tell you one thing that I do like is the cold weather. That makes it feel like playoff weather, and it just feels like that's natural and normal for us. And at practice yesterday, it really felt good being out there with the cold weather. I think that's going to help us.
Couple more.
Speaking to that, Dave, because of the changes in the conditions, does that change that demarcation line?
Yeah, I always talk about the cold weather as like return season, and I think that helps. Guys don't want to run down there and tackle in the cold weather. A lot of guys don't, but I just think it gives you an advantage, a mental advantage, if you had success in that kind of environment, and we have.
What's the outlook against the Houston unit?
Houston's very good. We played these guys a bunch. It just seems like Buffalo. It seems like we play them that much, but Frankie Ross, special teams coach, has been there for 5 years. Does a great job. Those guys they fly around. They're very highly motivated to make plays. He's an energy giver out there himself. And they got great return. They got that good new young kid Noel. He's really good. Tommy Townsend. We know what he's about. And then Fairbairn is having a good year. So they're solid across the board.
Anything else?
I was going to say, we don't talk a lot about offensive line injuries and how they affect special teams, but those guys play on your PAT and field goal teams.
Yeah, we had that a couple weeks ago when we had to change up some guys and we gave up a block on the extra point. It happens, but that the hardest ones are during the game. When those guys go down and you got a guy that's coming in and doesn't have practice. Right now, we're kind of anticipating and we're working guys in there as far as their footwork and stuff like that. So we're anticipating if they don't go, we have other guys in there that have gotten practice. So that helps, but it is a factor for us on field goal.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
Points and two glaring plays that I thought were uncharacteristic of our guys was one, the 43-yard run right up the middle. We haven't had one of those, I think, since was it Baltimore at the end of the game when they had that 70-yard run. And then we backed up, when we get a team backed up, we're supposed to get them the punt and get Patrick the ball back at the 50, but we gave up that big play. And those two just kind of stick a little bit. The other thing that I'll finish with, and then I'll open it up, is we weren't very good on third down, and I take the full blame for that. I just, we got to have a better game plan. We got to put the guys in better situations and try to make some plays, because you can't be like that on third down and expect to win or to keep the point total down low. So, hopefully you don't have too many questions about that game, because I'd like to move on, but I'll open it up.
How do you reconcile having to be physical at the line, maybe beyond 5 yards with these receivers, but then also?
Are you on the back end with the? Yeah, it's when I sat with Trent and Jalen, and some of those are probably going to happen when you play like that and you play that good a team with all those weapons that they had. We just would have liked to have cut it in half. I mean, if you could have just cutting them in half, it would have made a pretty big difference. But we're not going to stop being physical. We're not going to stop being aggressive. We'll try to get better. You guys have probably been at practice before, where we put the mitts on the guys. And we'll get back to that. We'll try to get it ironed out. But those guys got a lot of pride in the way they play, and I don't want them to be any less aggressive. I just want to be a little bit better. The one thing that I never like is when we grab jerseys, because that's just a undisciplined thing. So if we can clean that up, would be better.
It's been a trend with third down and longs, especially throughout the course of at least the back half of the season so far. Just, is there anything you're identifying as a trend or anything you know?
No, look, there's obviously obvious ones that we think about. It's either not a good call or somebody, well, they make a good play or somebody's not in the right position. There's not one thing. I have to go back and look at all of them. But third down overall, in my opinion, just needs to be better.
Such back-to-back games without a sack.
Yeah.
It's been 4 years since
that happened.
Yeah, since that happened. Anything you put your finger on as to why you're not getting there?
No, listen, I think sacks are great, and we always want to get them. I'm more into did we affect the quarterback? Did we make him throw it out quick? But you got to do a combination of that. It's not just the up front guys. It could be the call. Not a good one. I didn't like the second or third one that we had. First one was good, right? I should talk more about that one. But sometimes we got to be a one step tighter in coverage to give the guys a chance. Like I remember one particular call that we had. It's to try to get Chris a one-on-one. We got it. He won, but it was a half a tick late. And so now maybe could somebody cover just a little bit longer on the back end? But once we get the combination of rush and coverage together, maybe some of those would come.
Steve, you blitzed quite a bit. Do you find that teams are getting better against the blitz, more anticipatory, or is it just a different reason that maybe they didn't get home?
The first one got home.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep going back to that one. But no, there were others that we were off a little bit in technique. I thought they did a good job on another particular one I'm thinking of. It looked to me like Dak got him. He sniffed out something, and then he got him into a particular route, and it was tough on Trent. So I tipped my hat off to them on that particular third down. And there's going to be some of those, But somewhere in there, I don't know, it was 9 of 16 or whatever it was. We got to find a way to win 4 of those out of the 9 that we lost. And that'd change a lot of things.
Couple more.
Injuries are going to happen, but with Brian Cook going out early in the game, just how did that affect your ability to call certain things, and just what was that learning lesson for someone like Jay Dennis?
Yeah, it got a little hairy there, So Chris Rowland Wallace, didn't make the trip, so we're already down to safety. Elevate Mike, Mike hasn't really had to practice all week, but he's a vet and he knows what he's doing. But when Brian went out, and then I don't know if you guys remember or saw that there was a 3 or 4 play swing there where Chamari Connor was hurt. And so now there's a lot of things going on, because when I try to get into the sub packages, it's either safeties or corners, and does Trent go inside, does he go outside? So there was a moment there. Now we handled it relatively okay. It could have been a little bit better on actually on the 4th and 4. That's about when that happened, the 1 4th down that they went for and we lost. It gets hairy. It's the NFL. Guys are going to get hurt. People are going to have to go in and play. There wasn't, to your point, there was an aspect of we ran a play in the game where we brought a pressure, and the guys in the pressure weren't in the spots we had practiced because guys got hurt. And that happens. But hopefully we're hoping our walkthroughs, and it's not like we didn't know what to do, but we were just a little bit of a tick off. So, yeah, we got to rise up above the injuries because they're going to come.
Coach, when you talk about Houston, their offense, what have you seen?
I'm glad we're going to talk about Houston right now. Listen, all of a sudden, it's all clicking, in my opinion. I look at that whole team, first of all, and they're well put together. They play off of their defense. They're really good on defense. But getting the quarterback back, this may be one of the best overall receiver groups that we're going to see. They can run the football, and they got a quarterback that's, dynamic with his feet and getting it out of trouble. So it doesn't get any easier. There's no, soft pitches in this league. We need to play better defense. Hopefully, being at home, we can tick it up a little bit.
We'll go last 3, Sam, Matt, Todd.
Do you see some similarities with having to face Nico Collins, just size-wise, to maybe what you just faced?
Yeah, we had a couple big guys against the Colts, too. Yeah, a lot of carryover. He's really good. And you can tell they try to get the ball to him, so hopefully we can find ways to take him out of the game and be good enough covering the other guys, because I don't think it's just a one-man show in that receiver group. I think they got the young rookie 81 is really playing well, and they got a bunch of vets in there, too.
Well, and along those lines, their 2 biggest receivers, they're both 6'4" guys, kind of like Dallas, and 2 big receivers.
Yeah.
What's the challenge with that, especially since, some of your guys are a little on the smaller side?
Yeah, I mean, Jalen's got some size to him, and, Trent's a good football player, and he's played big guys before. I mean, we got to, without, incurring the penalties, we got to try to win at the line of scrimmage, because when these guys get downfield, their catch radius is such that, they can catch it anywhere and everywhere, and the quarterbacks, their quarterback, both of the quarterbacks that have been on tape, have a lot of confidence in these guys just to throw the ball up. It's a pretty good challenge. It doesn't get any easier, that's for sure.
Todd?
Coach, what are you seeing, attitude, confidence-wise from your guys? I know most of the guys have not been in this position where it's in the mix, 6-6 in December, and a long weekend. Are you seeing kind of like what you'd expect to see from them coming back for this game?
I can tell you this, Todd. Like yesterday, we had you guys saw the practice. Coach on Wednesdays does the no helmet practice, and we've had a bunch of those in the 7 years I've been here. I told the unit this morning that I thought that was the best no helmet practice that we've had here in 7 years. I guess where I'm going with it is that nobody's lost interest in what we're doing. Nobody's lost. I think they have just jacked it up. Talk about the defensive guys in their preparation, because they know, the margin for error now is really, really small. So happy with the way they're acting right now. You just got to go out and do it.
Thank you.
On Sunday, right? Yeah, thanks.
All right, there is Steve Spagnuolo not wanting to really talk about his team, ready to move on from that game against the Cowboys, and glad to be talking about the Texans a little bit there. And that's because it hasn't been great. And that's because third downs, they can't get off the field. They can't sack the quarterback. And the blitzes are not getting there for one reason or another. As he said, sometimes it could be that third down that, that team makes a play, or, somebody's not in the right position, or it's a bad call by me. Like, he named 3 different reasons as to why some of those third and longs they can't get off the field. Either way, it amounts to them being one of the worst teams in the NFL in third down and long. And that's, it can't be something that continues.
We know what it is. We know that they can't get pressure with 4, and so they have to send extra pressure, simulated pressure, and then when they do, it leaves one-on-ones on the outside. I mean, sometimes the simple answer, the actual answer is the obvious answer.
Yeah, just the KISS theory, right? Keep it simple.
Silly.
Stupid.
Keep it simple, Sterling.
Keep it simple. Yeah, that's what I should have gone with. Keep it simple, Sterling.
But that's my main takeaway is.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's just we can talk all we want about schemes, and if you can't get pressure to the four, if you don't have a good D line, and again that might be Spags, that might be Veach, that might be a plethora of situations. It's probably all encompassing, but the point still remains: if you can't get pressure to the four, you're not going to have a good third down defense. You're just not.
We'll send it out there when Matt Nagy gets to the podium, but one of the things that I want to talk about that we heard there from Steve Spagnuolo, that he was saying, that 4th and 4, and he was mentioning that with Brian Cook missing, he said, it got a little hairy at times, with him being out. Christian Roland-Wallace is already missing. There were a couple of plays where Shamari Connor was not in the game, and so now you're really trying to have to figure some things out. And he said, on one of those, we ran a play, we brought pressure, and guys weren't in the right spot because of injuries and subs and, practices and going through everything. And he said, we'll get that figured out with walkthroughs and everything like that. This is the second time there's been a significant play in a game where the coordinator said, well, it's just we had subs in the game, and so, it's something we need to work on and make sure that everybody's on the same page. Because the last time we heard that was when Harrison Butker had an extra point blocked against the Broncos, when the Chiefs could have gone up 20-16. Instead, the extra point was blocked up 19-16, and Dave Tobe talked about, well, Wanya was in the game. Remember, that's when we lost it, whatever. So we had a substitute in the game at that point, and so we got a little cross-haired on what we were supposed to do there. Why? Why? How? Was Wanya not ready to play? Is Wanya not practicing like he's one play away? Are the defensive players that you called a pressure and were in the wrong spot because you had subs in there, are they not approaching it as in, I'm one play away? So every time a pressure is called as the defense, I need to be paying attention to what would I be doing? Where am I going to go on this one? Oh, I'm in the game. Now I've got to be ready to play. Are those guys not being coached? There's more I want to get into about that. Matt Nagy next.
There's a little bit of a process between Coach Reed, Coach Heck, and where the guys are. So we all talk through that, and we end up making a decision on how that goes and with the guys. And then we leave it at that. And wherever it is, we want those guys to go out and do everything they can to trust their fundamentals and technique. Obviously, we're seeing a great pass rush. That's not telling anybody anything we don't know. So we got to find ways to be able to, in any way possible, give our guys the best advantage, in when they play.
Is that the prioritizing one position where they both feel comfortable, who you're playing against? Like what goes into
No, I wouldn't say it's who you're playing against as much as just the discussion of, what's best for those guys, where they're comfortable, and then in the end, whatever decision is made, you got to go with it, and you can't look back on it.
Looked like John Hussey said something on the sideline about OPI. What did he tell you guys?
Yeah, that was it was on that 3rd and 6 play, and that's a we talked about it this week. It's a difficult one. What's hard is that we as coaches, you coach the players to trust the process, you coach the players to trust the play, and they executed it. I would say that Xavier did everything that he was supposed to do on that route. What they were in coverage-wise was set up for the play, and unfortunately it didn't go our way. So it's a tough one because Monday through Friday we put in some time in trying to tell the guys why we want to run a play and how to do it, and then when you do it, there's a little bit of trust equity that you build up that maybe gets dinged a little bit as a coach when that happens. So I think that's what's real, and so there can be frustration. By no means did that affect the win or loss of what happened in the game, but those guys did what we asked them to do on that play. It was a penalty. They called a penalty, and you have to recover from it. But there was just a little discussion as to what happened so we can have clarification. And sometimes those ones are hard to, especially coming out start to third quarter when we know it's important to get points and score touchdowns, and it didn't happen. So, that one was tough.
Is that one of those where you'll get some clarification later in the week that maybe you've seen in the league. Have you got any feedback on that particular call?
Yeah, that would be one of those that you get that, and again, the referees have a tough job. It's not easy, and it's everything happens quickly, and there's a lot that goes on. Again, when you can go back and look at it, we talked to the guys this week, and I would tell them to do nothing. I mean, he's literally running his route, and the defender initiated the contact and ran into him. I mean, so if we called that 10 more times, I would tell Xavier, do it 10 more times, run the play the way you did, because you did it the right way. You were running your route. But unfortunately, it was called, and we have to be able to understand that had nothing to do with anything with the outcome. But we now just got to go back, and when you teach plays Monday through Friday, when you talk to the guys, you got to be able to explain to them, like, this is why we're going to do it this way. This is what should happen. And if it doesn't, okay, how do we recover and handle adversity of a 10-yard penalty to make it 3rd and 16? And the guys have been great with that. So that's what we got to do, and that's what we will do.
When he was asked about this Texans game, Pat said he emphasized running the football, getting the ball out fast. I guess just considering some of the missing players along protection versus this game plan. I guess without saying too much.
Sure, yeah. Again, the very first thing that you notice when you watch this Texans defense, you see them on TV or you watch them like we do in the cut-ups that we have, is they're super relentless. The edge pressure that they have, they don't have to bring much pressure. They can get a lot of pressure one-on-one. They're really, really good on the edge. They're really, really good on their whole defense. So when you have the guys on the inside, the linebackers, the DBs, everything, it presents a challenge. I think in this game for us, we create our game plan offensively. What do we want to do? Make that loud and clear to the offense in the beginning of the week. And then we got to execute it and know what kind of game this is going to be. It's probably not going to be a real pretty game, and that's okay. This team doesn't allow many points. So when you go into it, the goal is to score as many as you can, but what's real and how you're going to do it. And I think the team messaging, the offensive messaging from us is just do what you're supposed to do, coach how we're supposed to coach. And we have a lot of trust in our guys, and I think a lot of confidence, but we have a lot of respect because they're a good football team and they're very well coached.
A couple more.
Matt, going back to the process part of this, you obviously work really closely with Pat in the offseason to figure out what he needs to improve on. Can you just take me through what you've seen from him this year from a process standpoint, and how he's handled all those things he's been doing to improve on?
Yeah, we always talk about his feet. Mentally this year, we talked a little bit about more aggressiveness for all of us. So I think he's done a great job with that. I think the next step now is with the mental side of it, the process of, okay, it's not there, check it down. He had 3 of those last week. That's growth. When you have 3 plays where it's okay, it's not there, they didn't give it to us, check it down to the back, check it down to the tight end, make it 2nd and 3 instead of 2nd and 10, that's growth. We're still working on some things footwork-wise, which we always do, but I think like the play-action stuff, he's done a great job with being really good with play-action. So there's a lot. I mean, he has really done an amazing job this year of really sticking true to what we want to do progression-wise within the concepts. And then he's the most competitive human being I've ever been around. So like you get in a game like last week, we get that touchdown at the end of the game, and he was ready to roll and go down there and win the game, and that's just who he is. So I like where he's at, and again, I think mindset-wise for us as a team and an offense, I know internally is looking forward to this weekend, and he's a leader that's going to lead us, and that's one of his greatest strengths.
Regarding the run,
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Regarding the run game, a lot of people have talked about the under center runs and everything. Just how would you evaluate using more of those maybe throughout the game if you see the success that you might have early in the game?
Yeah, it's been under center runs have been good for us. So making sure that we don't get away from that, match some things up with it to protect us schematically, and you're getting now to what everybody says, right? You get into cold weather games, a little bit of the elements. The run game tends to jump up a little bit. So I don't think that's a hidden fact, but whatever we do now, the downhill, there's a million different schemes you can do from dot runs or under center runs. It's doing what we do well, pairing it up, but then also, too, not taking away what we do in the RPO world as well. So just kind of balancing both of that in the run game.
Last one, sir.
There were a few times where you guys got backed up because of penalties. I mean, the Xavier play, the Josh Simmons penalty. Andy had mentioned something Monday about there's only so many plays. What's the balance of trying to go for it there versus maybe burning something that you need later in the game knowing that you're that far backed up?
Right. There is a balance, and whatever coach ends up deciding to do, we roll with. For us, you keep hearing like we're so close, and I know that becomes insanity after a while. It's like, okay, so close can happen so many times. It's got to be fixed. It's got to be changed. And so, in whatever it is, if it's decision making with where we're at, if there's a penalty that we get, for some reason it just feels like we're getting like past the 50-yard line into that big red zone area, and then there's a penalty, whether it's a hold, a false start, something that's unfortunate. So you, as a coach, you really try to dig in and say, why is that? What are we doing? It keeps happening. So we touch on it. We make sure the guys understand it. And then, decision making on what you do within the play scheme, go for it, not go for it, fourth down. Coming away with points is huge. So I don't know. I would just say the biggest thing is just everything we can. Like if you go back, I don't know the exact numbers, but if you don't have penalties, when we don't have penalties on offense, we're pretty good. We're pretty good. So whatever it is, like we stop with the penalties, and again, the ones that you can do, that are, I guess, controllable, stop them. If they're not controllable, keep doing what you're doing. We'll deal with that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, offensively, the Chiefs had 3 consecutive drives in that game against the Cowboys that were brought back because of penalties. They had up 14-7. They ended up punting after a holding call ended that drive. They run 7 plays, pick up a total of 39 yards, but punt. The very next possession, that's the holding on Josh Simmons, which was not a hold, in which he just pancaked the dude. And Pacheco had the catch, down, and you're in field goal range, and they end up punting on that one. And then the drive to begin the third quarter, that was the offensive pass interference call that was brought back with a penalty. It's 3 consecutive drives that the Chiefs had a 10-yard penalty that they could not overcome, that they didn't even pick up a first down after that penalty. Not only, you didn't score on that drive, you didn't pick up another first down after that penalty happened. So we'll take a timeout, come back. There's a little bit of time between the coaches and Chris Jones. So we will hear from Chris Jones on the other side of the break. More Zone right after this. All right, folks, the holiday is here, men, and if you are somebody that is in your 30s, 40s, 50s, later, and you might be suffering from low testosterone, well, now is not the time to have that continue to affect you because, you're going to be busy. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of socializing, family, things like that. And if you're wondering if your testosterone level is low, easy way to find out if it is or not, go to Heartland Men's Health, schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health, and they can have your lab work done, results within 30 minutes when they get the lab work done, and you can treat yourself to getting back to the way you felt when you were in your 20s and 30s, because guys start losing 2 to 3% of their testosterone production every single year, and that starts to accumulate. It happens gradually over time. You don't feel anywhere near the same that you did. It's not just testosterone replacement. It's the peptides. It's all the different things that Heartland Men's Health does for men's health. You could be back to higher energy levels. You could be back to, a better sleep, waking up feeling more refreshed, which can then result in more production at work. Brain fog can go away. All these things could be linked to low testosterone. Heartland Men's Health, successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and North Kansas City. Call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com. That's 844-447-6600. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports Radio 810 at WHB. It's Heartland Men's Health.
Hey folks, this is Nate Bucati, and I want you to come join me at Schlotsky's in Overland Park today. It's Guest Appreciation Day. We're at 120th and Metcalf. You don't want to miss this. You can get a 4-pack of classic Cinnabon rolls for just $29.99, and when you do, you'll score a buy one, get one free entree reward card, good for an entire year. That's over a $600 value. And all day long, Schlotsky's is rolling out small original sandwiches for only $2.99. These specials are good at all Schlotsky's locations, but you can come see me at the one at 120th and Metcalf in Overland Park. Also, download the Schlotsky's app, swing by, and come hang out with me today until 1 o'clock. It's Guest App Day at Schlotsky's. It's a mouthful of awesome. Come see me, 120th and Metcalf in Overland Park.
All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy. Heading up until 2 o'clock, we got some sports or leisure today.
Fact.
That is correct. That is a fact that we have sports or leisure today. That is what we're going to be doing.
Is that not crazy, though?
It is crazy. We got sports or leisure on a Thursday. Totally crazy. You know, we didn't even do sports or leisure last Thursday because you weren't here. We said without Sterling, we're not doing it. No way.
21-1. OKC.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
21-1.
Okay, well, they could be 22-0. Be 22-0, and I'll talk about you.
I mean, they lost by 2 points in OT.
How about that,
lost.
Shay?
They are an absurd team. They lost by 2 in Portland to the Trailblazers.
Yeah,
That's
you know what a
was.
pro wants, what a pro needs? Not a 2-point loss. That's what you need there, Chet.
Dude,
Shay?
21-1. Why is nobody talking? Like, why is it Cowboys stuff? Well, because
you are.
Why is it Cowboys on the bleeping national TV? 21-1.
I bet people, I don't want to say nobody's talking about them. I bet NBA fans and also people in Oklahoma City are probably talking about them.
Not enough.
Okay, there you go. I know what we'll be talking about tomorrow, and the world will be talking about tomorrow, and that is the FIFA World Cup 26 final draw. And it'll be live viewing, free viewing party at Power and Light District from the KC Live. That is tomorrow. The excitement kicks off with the doors opening at 9 o'clock in the morning. Festivities starting at 10 o'clock, not just because that's when our show starts, but maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it's all because of that. But the next chapter in our sports legacy here in Kansas City is the FIFA World Cup 26 and the draw going on tomorrow. So we'll see which teams are in which groups, and you can join fans from across the region watching the FIFA World Cup 26 groups and the reveal. Nate Bucati will be there with live commentary, Jimmy Conrad, Matt Beasler, tons of giveaways and things like that, and just a whole lot of fun going on down at the Power and Light District. We will be at the only pub there, no other pub. The only pub that we're going to be at is No Other Pub tomorrow.
Literally no other pub.
No other pub
we're going to be at. No other pub.
No other pub, yes. It's the one and only that we'll be at. And we're going to be broadcasting live from there. And again, as I said, Nate's going to be down there, Matt Beasler, Jimmy Conrad. You can talk to guys that understand what this draw is like and then what you do right after it. If you're a player, okay, this is the group we're in. What do I do now as a player getting ready for that? So we'll be broadcasting live from there as we are a proud partner of KC 2026, and it's brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City, the official health insurance partner of the KC Current and Sporting Kansas City. So 11 o'clock tomorrow is when that draw starts worldwide. Prestige worldwide. That's when it starts tomorrow, and we will take some of that live. Like when they go to, say, Group J, since that's a group that we will have 2 games here in Kansas City with, when they go to Group J, we may try to listen in and see which teams are going to be in Group J, especially, I would say, which teams out of Group J are from Pot 1. Pot 1 are the highest ranked and host cities of entering the World Cup. And so Pot 1 is Canada, Mexico, USA, but none of those 3 teams are in Group J or D or E. It's A, B, and F as the Kansas City. A, B, and D is Canada, Mexico, and U.S. Either way, the 3 host cities are not in a group that's going to be playing in the group stage matches here in Kansas City. So we know that. But 3 of the rest of Pot 1 in the countries that you would look at are going to be at least in the groups that will have 2 out of one group and then 1 out of the other 2 groups that will be playing here. So 3 of these teams: Spain, Argentina, France, England, Brazil, Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, Germany. 3 of those teams will be in a group that will have a match in Kansas City. Let's hope it's one of those, because if it's one of those, or maybe there's a couple. Maybe it's one of those is in Group J, and they have a couple of matches here in Kansas City. It's like, say, England or Germany. You would then have your base here in Kansas City. So then Saturday, we'll find out which teams will be playing where, and then we'll get a pretty decent idea of which countries will be heading to Kansas City to have their base here in the Kansas City area. So next couple days, pretty exciting for the culmination of this long process of having the World Cup in Kansas City. And we'll be down there tomorrow. Looking forward to that. So we already have a packed show on a Friday.
Yeah.
So let's just add in the World Cup draw. Let's just add in some guests that we'll have live down there as well.
Is it a suitcase? It's getting packed.
Okay. All right. I didn't know what you were going with that, but I appreciate it. I should have known that.
You should have known.
I should have known that is a Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
it's a Ted Lasso.
I'm trying my best Ted Lasso Beards, in honor
and
of.
Beards is like it's suitcase. Yeah. It's a suitcase, and then Beards, it's packed.
And then Darcy just goes "Arg" or whatever.
Whistle.
Yeah, that's good, Roy Kent. There you go.
When Michael says, "Let's go to break," he's just yelling, "Whistle!"
I'm miming it behind the glass.
Question, real serious question.
And he is actually behind the glass, so it's easy for him to mime it because he just puts his hands on the glass and he's like.
Serious question. Sudeikis is from Kansas City. Will we see a Ted Lasso? Will we see Sudeikis dressed up in Ted Lasso attire at some point? I bet we do.
I mean, I would like to see Sudeikis there at Power and Light. That'd be awesome with the draw. I mean, because, look.
I'll text him.
Thank you. During the World Cup, I'll text Paul Rudd. During the World Cup, where do they always go when they show the watch parties with the United States? It's right here.
Yeah.
Power and Light. Red, white, and blue, decked out. Here's Kansas City, the soccer capital of the United States. Let's go there and see the live reaction of the goals and things like that. So, yeah, they're going to have some presence nationally when you're showing this broadcast, and worldwide showing the broadcast there at the Power and Light. So what other city are you going to, L.A., like, do they know what's going on tomorrow? Like, do they care? We do, and we'll be here. It's the capital, and we've even invited people from St. Louis to come over. So, they can hang out here and understand what the soccer capital of the United States looks like.
So I know
it's not a far drive for them to get to the capital. They can, on the way, they'll go from lowercase to capitals.
I know that Chris Jones is coming up next.
Do you know that?
Well, we assume we've been told. We've been told.
We've been told that.
We've been told that. So
We've
I
been
don't
told
know
Chris Jones
that.
is coming
I've
up
been
next.
told that. Sources tell me. Sources,
All right.
I think, are Lebo.
Okay. Wow, give away your source like that. That didn't take much at all. Don't tell Sterling anything in confidence.
He's had a...
I'll never give up my source. Who was it? It was Lebo.
It was Lebo. a couple of solid games in a row for Chris Jones, but yet still feels like he's 3 sacks this year overall. How much of the defensive line issues were predicated on the fact that they expected him to still be playing at an elite level versus merely a solid player level? Because it's not like he went from elite to great. He's gone from elite last year, I think you would even still say elite, to he's been a fine player.
Here's what I think their thoughts heading into the season were. Chris Jones will still play like he has the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Karlaftis will take the next step. By the second half of the season and into the playoffs, Omar Norman-Lott will be a pass-rushing threat next to Chris Jones, taking over for Turk Wharton, who was obviously an underrated part, and we talked about him last year. You talked about him. We discussed it last year that, Turk Wharton was an integral part of that defensive line and what he was doing, and it's why he got the bag. It's why he got paid. Good for him. I'm happy for him. But not having him and replacing him with a guy who then tears a ligament in his knee and is out for the season, that sucks. Because you don't know what Omar Norman-Lott's going to be. Is he going to be good? Is he going to be Turk Wharton? Is he going to be a guy whose entire career is, it's just an injury-plagued guy? It's unfortunate. Sometimes it's bad luck. But, hey, that's what we know, is the man's been injured. It's like, unfortunately from the college standpoint locally, it's like, what do we know about Darren Peterson? Cramps and hamstring. He's a guy that hasn't played. What do we know about Josh Simmons? Last 2 years, hasn't finished the season. Well, that patellar injury, that sucks. It's a freak injury, getting your hand broken and dislocated.
It's like Joe Burrow.
Is it a freak injury or is it football?
Yes.
Because freak injuries happen, but also it's football. Freak injury is, hey, you're walking down the sidewalk and you trip and fall and then your ankle snaps. That was kind of a freak injury.
Freak injury was Greenlaw when he jumped to go on the field and tore his ACL or Achilles.
It's football. He had played an entire season and those legs were tired.
By the way, Tershawn Wharton, Chiefs may have made the right decision. Now, again, he's in Carolina, so different than being next to Chris Jones and Karlaftis.
I don't know, they got a better record than the Chiefs. That's all I look at.
But
I've been told only look at records.
He has struggled this year for Carolina, and that's a large contract.
Yeah. But I think the thought process was Karlaftis will take the next step.
Yeah.
Chris Jones will be Chris Jones. Omar Norman-Lott will progress, and at the end of the season will be a pass rush threat. Gelati will improve, and a combination of Gelati, Dana, FAU, Omenihu, somebody will emerge as a rotational piece that you can use if it's obvious passing or early downs. If you're leading, that you'll have that all figured out. I think that was the plan.
Yeah.
Omar Norman-Lott gone. Karlaftis is getting a lot of pressures, but now has the wrist injury. Chris Jones has taken a step back. Omenihu doesn't belong on a roster in the NFL, an active roster. Michael Dana is who Michael Dana is, and Ashton Gelati is a third-round rookie. So I think, and FAU's out for the season. So I can go back and say, here's what their plan was, and I can also go back and say it was flawed because you were counting on a situational pass rusher in college in Omar Norman-Lott, who you then tried to turn into a run stopper, a one technique for some reason, and put weight on him. And then you took the weight off of him. And then he battled injuries. Did he battle injuries?
Snap.
Yeah. Did he battle injuries because you were putting weight on and taking weight off and having him do different things instead of just saying this is what you drafted him for? It's like, hey, let's go trade for Jonathan India, a leadoff hitter who's only played in the dirt, and let's put him in the grass.
Yeah.
Well, how about just you trade for him, that's what you do. Well, here's Omar Norman-Lott. He's a situational pass rusher. This is what we got him for, is to line up next to Chris Jones and really wreak havoc on a defense. Okay, cool. Let's turn him into a one technique.
Which, by the way, this is what this team needs is they've been fine against the run. What they really need is that situational pass rusher, and now you don't have him.
Now you don't have him, and maybe it has nothing to do with the other. Maybe there is no correlation causation with this, but it's just the overall sort of strategy and thought process of that with, let's draft this guy, let's change what he does. So, yeah, I think the thought process around it and the planning was flawed because you were trying to piece together a pass rush on defense with an unknown in the interior, an expectation that Chris Jones will not age. George Karlaftis, well, he got paid, so now there's an expectation he's going to take the next step. Well, you can't count on him just all of a sudden ascending. Well, those pressures are going to go to sacks. Maybe. Or the pressures are just pressures, and that's what he does.
Yeah.
And if you can't guard for a long time and he doesn't get some of those coverage sacks, those great motor sacks that Karlaftis has got and Tamba Ali has got, okay, well, you can't bank on a hope that he will take the next step. And then you're counting on FAU that, hasn't gotten playing time, worthy or not. Amenahue, nobody wanted him. Dana's a nice role player. And Gelati's a third rounder.
And you brought in Jerry Tillery, who...
I forgot about him.
You kept Derek Nottie, then had to bring back Mike Pinnell. I mean, the entire defensive line game plan, we look back now, I mean, obviously we have the ability of hindsight, but...
I'm wrong on a few things, but I was not wrong on Jerry Tillery.
But just... and again, I didn't mind...
It's like, are they really trying to replace Turk Wharton with Jerry Tillery? Good luck with that.
But I didn't mind... Again, at the time, I understood the thought process, but the entire defensive line was almost like the Royals in 2018 or 2020, 2021, where you're just sitting here going, well, if these things go right...
A lot of ifs.
But you're just talking about 6 ifs.
Yeah.
You don't really have many concepts. You're talking about, well, if this happens and then this happens, you try to talk yourself into it instead of the opposite where it goes, well, if this goes wrong and this goes wrong, then I could see him being bad.
Yeah,
it was the opposite.
Yeah, the two knowns were, here's the level that you think Chris Jones will continue to play at, and hopefully he doesn't regress. And I think throughout the season, it's felt like he has regressed. The last 3 weeks, he's looked more like Chris Jones, going back to it's Denver, Indy, Dallas, right? So since the Denver game, that's the last 3 weeks. So Denver, Indy, Dallas. Those last 3 games, he's looked like Chris Jones. So I think the knowns were Chris Jones playing at a certain level, and here's what you're going to get from George Karlaftis. That was it. The other knowns were, well, Michael Dana's a nice role player. Okay. Mike Pinnell... But then you also cut him and traded for Nottie. And then you draft Omar Norman Lott and sorry, did I say Nottie or Gelati? Trade for Nottie. But then Gelati, and you can't go to the quarterback and have a potty around him. That was bad. I know.
Yeah,
only thing that popped in my
Chris,
head was...
save us.
Yeah, I know. I want that sack. I wish he would get it. I wish he would get a couple of those more. But those were the knowns. And it was a couple of knowns and some role players, and that's it. And they didn't really address it. And they've got to this offseason. I know some people have the Chiefs taking tight end early in the – and I get it. I understand why Oregon's tight end is enticing. But if the Chiefs don't make the playoffs, and they've got a top 20 pick – they need to come away with 7 defensive linemen.
But do you trust them to get it right? And at some point, as great as Spags...
Well, if you don't trust them to get them right, then fire them.
Well, no, but as great as Spags has been, and I think we all agree that he's a Hall of Famer, and we're not saying fire Spags, but what we are saying is at some point, maybe in today's era of NFL, in 2025, that style of player that he covets is not efficient. It's not the correct way of going about it.
I wonder... if you could take last year and turn it to this year, if Joshua Uche was traded for this year,
would he play?
Would he be playing over Amenahue?
I don't think I think the answer is no. I still think it would be the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that.
And I'm talking about in obvious passing situations.
Sure.
And if 90's out there over Uche in obvious passing situations, then somebody needs to answer some questions.
Well, again, I'm not saying fire Spags or that Spags is a bad DC. The point I'm trying to make is I think an evolution needs to happen with the style of player he covets on the D line, whether that's Veach or him. At some point, someone needs to come together and say, hey, we've tried this way. There are no pressures. There are no sacks. We have to switch. Atlanta did this last year, and what they do in the draft, they spent a whole bunch of draft capital, moved up, got a couple first-rounders, and Atlanta now has one of the better pass rushes in the entire NFL.
They're, number 2 or 3 in total sacks this year?
And so it can change fairly quick. Yeah. You can go from bad to good pass rush pretty quickly, but you got to get it right. And right now, again, I go back to FAU, which is always a hilarious conversation because it's so nuanced, but I still don't think... if you told me he went to a different team and ended up being a good pass rusher, I could find myself believing that.
Yeah. the little amount of time that we've seen him play in games, it's like, oh, he came through with the tackle for loss. Oh, look, he got a pressure there.
Yes.
Oh, hey, look, he got a sack. Oh, wow, he got that he made a good play there. I mean, I don't know what they're seeing or not seeing, or is
Correct.
FAU not the full size that Spags wants? And that was a Clark Hunt Super Bowl winner hosting the draft, Kansas City, pick Kansas City kid, and Spags is like, we'll see. I mean, we'll see, because there was also a disconnect on Joshua Uche. You trade and give up a 6th-rounder for Uche, who Spags never played.
Correct. And so if Veach says, hey, I'm getting this guy, you're going to play him, and then Spags says, I'm not going to play him.
But also, did Spags want Christian Fulton? Is Spags the guy that fought for Christian Fulton over Justin Reed?
Man, yeah,
because if Brett Veach is like, hey, Spags, we can keep Reed around, we got it, but we can go get Christian Fulton, add some depth here. If he's the one that lobbied for Christian Fulton because of the size and how physical he is, I mean, that contract is Justin Reed and Christian Fulton is almost the same.
Because Fulton seems like a Spags corner, too.
He does.
So that fits the mold traditionally. And
if you're Brett Veach and saying, hold on, I went and paid this guy for 2 years, $10 million for you, and you're not playing him? Why? Hold on, this is somebody else you want? Well, are you going to play him? Are you not going to play him? Because if Spags said, yeah, let's get Uche in here, and then didn't play him, that'd be back-to-back years that Spags and Veach or talked about, signing or trading for somebody that just simply doesn't play. Was it Spags' idea to draft Omar Norman Lott and then turn him into a run stopper? Was that Joe Cullen?
Yeah.
Was that Brett Veach? Was that the scouts? Whatever it is, whose idea was that, hey, this is the guy and whose idea is it that thinks that Shamari Connor can still play the slot? More zone coming up next.
We are live. Lightning crashes. Remember that song by the band, Live? Great song. But something better than that. I'm talking FanDuel, because FanDuel Sportsbook is live and ready to roll in the Show Me State. And guess what? They are celebrating with a little something for everyone. All this week, every customer gets a no-sweat bet every day. That's right. No matter what you're betting on, if it doesn't hit, you'll get bonus bets back to keep the action going. And they're not stopping. So they're doing a no-brainer boosts. No-brainer boosts in Missouri, okay? So 1+ point scored in the Lions versus Cowboys game tonight. You can bet up to $50 at +100 odds. I know I will be driving my ass over to the Missouri side and placing that bet. I know, Jason, you laughed right there, but I'm going to do it. Come on. We're all going to do it. I will drive to State Line to place that no-brainer boost. It just makes sense. Okay, so whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or whatever you are into, you can do this all and bet on an app that's safe, secure, and built for every kind of fan. The interface is quick, the payouts are fast, and the experience is top tier. So download FanDuel or visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. FanDuel.com/Missouri.
21 plus and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Opt-in required each day. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $20. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Hey folks, this is Nate Bucati, and I want you to come join me at Schlotzsky's in Overland Park today. It's Guest Appreciation Day. We're at 120th and Metcalf. You don't want to miss this. You can get a 4-pack of classic Cinnabon rolls for just $29.99, and when you do, you'll score a buy one, get one free entree reward card, good for an entire year. That's over a $600 value. And all day long, Schlotzsky's is rolling out small original sandwiches for only $2.99. These specials are good at all Schlotzsky's locations, but you can come see me at the one at 120th and Metcalf in Overland Park. Also, download the Schlotzsky's app, swing by, and come hang out with me today until 1 o'clock. It's Guest App Day at Schlotzsky's. It's a mouthful of awesome. Come see me, 120th and Metcalf in Overland Park.
All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Coming up at 1 o'clock, a little sports or leisure. Heading up until 2 o'clock, handing off to Soren Petro and the program. Tomorrow, we will be out at Power and Light District. Looking forward to that. The World Cup draw, KC 2026 World Cup. We've been waiting a while. Now we find out where the teams are heading in the different groups. And on Saturday, we will find out which games are going to be played in Kansas City on the 16th, the 20th, the 25th, and the 27th. So looking forward to that. Yeah.
Speaking of waiting a while.
Are we done waiting now? Okay, great. All right, he's there. Here is Chris Jones.
Hey, guys.
When you hear your coach, and I don't know if you heard your coach on Monday say that you guys are going to go out and tickle the tonsils of your opponent, how do you feel when you hear your coach say things like that?
Fired up, ready to go. You know, that means something's getting going. He's brewing something, so I'm fired up.
Is that the tone? Do you feel like you're going to take in these last 5 games? Is you're just going to go after guys and go after these other teams and tackle those games?
I think we don't have a choice. I think this is critical moments for us as an organization, as a team. Most importantly, us as individuals. I think it's a sense of urgency and a level of awareness that we all must step our game up.
You've been around this a lot longer than most everyone else on your defense. Are you seeing what you think you need to see from the guys in the practice room and meeting rooms and stuff this week, knowing the situation you guys are in?
Absolutely. I think everyone is dialed in. I think everyone's committed to doing whatever it takes to finish the season strong. It's about being consistent, day in and day out, and the transitioning to the game, just not one game, the next game also. So for us, we can stay consistent as a team. I think we can finish strong.
What frustrates you most about the way last Thursday went?
We can look at the whole game. Especially, I don't really look around. I look at how I play and what could I have done different. And overall, I think we could have affected the quarterback more as a unit, as a D-line unit. We didn't get there. We didn't affect them as often. So, I put that on me and George. We got to step up, making sure we're attacking the quarterback and leading these guys.
Chris Spags said that yesterday was one of the best non-helmet practices he'd seen from you guys in his 7 years here. I guess, what did you see from guys out there yesterday?
Just everybody dialed in. We understand the importance of these last few games, so we're going to take it one practice at a time and make sure we exhaust ourselves each and every day, mentally and physically, and put ourselves in a position to win.
A lot of people have been waiting to take shots at you guys. You've been so good, so you can expect it. But what do you say to the people who have written you off?
Keep writing.
Couple more.
You guys, people talk about the Texas defense a lot, but give us a preview of what you see on tape from them on offense right now.
A cohesive unit. CJ is definitely a tough quarterback to play. Yeah. Pocket passer, standing in the pocket, tall, will take a hit, can deliver every throw. So it's a challenge for us, but we're looking forward to it.
Coach, Chris, how much of the onus have you put on you and the rest of the defensive line to make more of an impact when you guys do get in third and long situations?
How much, excuse me?
How much of an onus do you put on yourself and the rest of the defensive line to get more pressure on third and long situations?
A lot. We got a lot of talented guys in the room that can rush the passer. and and we got to win more one-on-ones. We got to win more as a unit, because if they're able to stay in the pocket, then it affects the back end of our defense. So we, as a unit, got to make sure we're executing on all our blitzes, all our one-on-ones, and especially the pass rush. So, yeah, I put a lot of emphasis on us improving as a D-line throughout these last 5 games of the season.
Coach, a lot of people have talked about how just a couple plays here, it's close on defense, offense, special teams, whatever. Does it feel close to you? You guys feel close to you playing how you want to play on defense?
We're not far. We're not far from where we want to be, but more so about executing. Close but no cigar. We need the cigar at this point. You know what I mean? So everyone is dialed in. We continue to look at film, analyze practice, and make sure we exhaust ourselves throughout the day so we can prepare for this game on Sunday night. Thank you.
All right, there you go. There's Chris Jones. We'll see. Got to win the one-on-ones, he said. Said that a lot.
Yeah.
But he said everybody is dialed in and committed to finishing strong. And then asked, what do you have to say to the people that have written you off? And he said, keep writing. Okay.
Nice Gino pull.
I love it. Hey,
Look what Gino's doing right now,
I know, right?
When
Yeah.
he says a lot of one-on-ones, part of me, and I'm probably overanalyzing this, but when he says you got to win your one-on-ones, is he putting the onus on the other guys? Is he basically being like, I'm getting double teamed, we got to win our one-on-ones with the other guys?
Could also be like, okay, I had a one-on-one and I didn't win in that particular one. Could be that as well, but it's also something we've heard for about 8-9 games so far.
Yeah.
About why aren't you guys getting sacks or pressuring the quarterback? Oh, you got to win on one-on-ones. We got one-on-ones. We have to win those.
Did you catch him say me and George?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think he understands. I mean, those are the top 2 guys.
There it is.
It's him and George.
Yeah. Because
I didn't hear him say Charles or Jerry
or Mike.
Yeah, because then he would have just been, everybody would have known he was like, oh, come on, let's keep it 100, Chris. No cap, as the kids say. All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back, continue rolling. We got sports or leisure on the other side of the break. 913-3-810-810. First in, first on, $25. Johnny's Tavern. We're giving away more Zone next.
You're into sports, but nothing wrong with a little leisure time. Why not both?
You're going to have a heart attack by the time you're 40 if you don't learn to relax.
It's time for sports or leisure on The Zone with Jason Anderson.
All right, we continue. Time for a little sports or leisure. Final hour of the show here on this Thursday, 913-381-810. We're playing for Johnny's Tavern, $25 to Johnny's Tavern. We give away when you get a sports question and a leisure question right in the game we obviously call sports or leisure on a Thursday. Again, 913-381-810. We heard a lot from Steve Spagnuolo, Dave Tobe, Matt Nagy, and Chris Jones. You'll hear some of those clips and reactions, some more of that with Seren Petro and the program coming up at 2 o'clock. 913-381-810. Johnny's Tavern, where hopefully, let's hope, Monday you'll be heading there, dining in for a large specialty pizza in which you will get a pretty decent amount of a percentage off, depending on how many points the Chiefs score. I'm not sure they get to 20, but I hope you are enjoying a really nice discount on Monday.
They got a nice discount at the Cowboys game.
Yeah, and
they lost, but decent discount.
Yeah, that's fine. Got a nice discount after the Colts game, right?
Yeah, 23.
So, was it 23? Was that all it was? God,
yeah.
I forget that. That's all they scored. It's 23 points. Are you sure? Gosh. Whew, man. Anyway, I hope they get to 23 this go-around on Sunday. I just worry about that Texans defense. But $25 Johnny's Tavern we give away if you get a sports question and a leisure question right. 10 area locations, including Lawrence and Topeka. Let's go through the categories here. A couple of categories for me on this Thursday. We have general NFL category, and we have border war with the basketball side of it coming up on Sunday. The basketball side of the border war, we have a category with that as well. So those are the categories on the sports side. What about on the leisure side?
We have riddles. We have 3 left and 1-hit wonders.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a new one. We have slogans.
Slogans, okay.
Slogans.
All right. Is this like commercial slogans? Is it sports teams?
Mostly
slogans?
commercial slogans.
Okay.
So, for example, it'd be
Green Giant. Would be that one? Anything? Nope. It's not that one. Okay, great. Go ahead. What was the idea that you were thinking of?
Yeah, just slogans. It could be
Great.
a plethora of anything.
Is that one of them? Is that one of yours?
No, Green
Okay.
Giant was not one.
Does that count as a slogan, or is that just a way they're saying Green Giant in a way
That's just kind of how you say Green Giant. It wouldn't be Green Giant because that's the name of the
Green Giant slogan. The Zone. What's your slogan? The Zone. The Zone.
Yeah.
Done. Killed it.
Yeah.
That's the slogan.
So these are slogans.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea?
Like have it your way.
Oh, that's so easy. Think about commercials.
Have it your way. Oh, Green Giant. All right.
Burger King.
Are you sure?
You rule.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm pretty
We're not doing that one,
sure
then.
it's Green Giant. Okay. Pretty sure it's about green beans.
Are you talking about the green? Yeah, the frozen green
Pretty
beans.
sure it's green
place.
beans.
Okay.
Yeah, frozen. What are you talking about, man? All right, I'm ready to. Yeah, that's fine. I'm ready to go. Sterling, you ready to play?
I guess.
I'm itching to play. My tonsils are tickling.
There you go. Nice job. Gross. We do our green beans from Guaranteed Foods, so you can get the Green Giant ones. You can get whatever, but we got the nice Guaranteed. We had a really nice Thanksgiving meal with a lot of the sides presented by Guaranteed Foods, with the green beans and the green bean casserole, the sweet potato casserole, the sweet potatoes there, the potatoes, the mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, some corn. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right, 913-381-810. I'm ready to play. Sterling, you're ready to play. Michael's ready to play. His tonsils are tickling right now. And let's head to the phone lines. And we start off first with Charles, leading us off in a little sports or leisure. Charles, what side would you like to start with?
Sports and general NFL, please.
All righty then. Week 12 marked the third game of the season in which Myles Garrett had at least 3 sacks in a game, all of which came in his last 4 games. Can you tell me the only player, and a Hall of Famer, that had more than 3 games with 3 sacks in one season? This particular player had 4. Hall of Famer.
More than 3 sacks in 4 games?
Yes, 3 or more sacks in 4 games in one particular season. Myles Garrett has 3 of those this year.
Not consecutive, just in the
Yep.
season.
Yeah, just in the season. Yeah, he really struggled against the 49ers. He only had 1 sack last go-around for him, so it was a rough game. But by the way, did you see that big, jump step inside on Trent Williams that they were showing over there?
Insane.
You
That was
You can't be that
ridiculous.
size and move like that. It's just ridiculous.
It was a Euro step.
Yeah, I know, right? So he had 5 sacks, 1 sack, 4 sack, 3 sacks, and then 1 against the 49ers. But that is 1 away with the number of games left of tying this Hall of Famer for most in one season.
Hall of Famer.
It's not a big gap.
Are we thinking like 90s or earlier than that?
He's in the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Sacked a lot of quarterbacks in his day.
What did you just say?
Said he sacked a lot of quarterbacks in his day.
I want to say Reggie White.
Reggie White is not a bad guess, but it is incorrect. Charles, thank you for playing, man. 913-3-810-810 is the phone number. We head to Mike next up on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Mike, Sports or Leisure, what side would you like to start with, sir?
I'll do the sports.
All right, we got general NFL, and we have some border war basketball questions.
I'll do general NFL.
All right, we got that question out there. We have a freshman. What you thinking? It's a lot of questions before we can get the question.
Let's go with that one.
All right.
I'll shoot a guess at that one.
Yep. We think which Hall of Famer has 4 different 3-sack or more games in a season? 1 away, Myles Garrett tying this guy.
I'll go with Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor is correct. That is correct. Lawrence Taylor had 4 of them in a season, and Myles Garrett has 3 of them. I think Myles Garrett will have another game where he has at least 3 sacks. He's too damn good.
I thought Strahan. I just assumed
Strahan would have been a bad guess. J.J. Watt with the guys that have the record, right?
Yeah, the record.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
If Myles Garrett's healthy, he's going to end up with more than 3.5 sacks the rest of the way.
I would have thought Strahan.
Yeah, well, you would have thought wrong.
Yeah, I'd have been
you
wrong.
You would have thought wrong player, right team.
Yes.
But wrong player.
Yeah.
But that is the right answer by Mike. He heads over to Leisure.
I said Giants to be like, you'd be like, I know it. I got it.
The Giants. Yeah. Plays for the Giants. Strahan. Brian Burns. Thibodeau.
Slogans. One-hit wonders. Riddles.
Let's go with the new one. Let's go with slogans.
Slogans. We'll start with, I think, an easier one. Where's the beef? Hey, come on, everyone remembers it's like a grandma yelling it. Where's the beef?
God dang it! God dang it! Where's the?
I don't know that I remember this one. I'll be honest with you.
Maybe I
Mike.
just know slogans, but
yeah, this was a very famous one. 1984 is when it started. The catchphrase.
You got it, Michael. You know what it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
and there was actually, I think, an NFL player in the commercial.
This is probably.
Yeah, they brought it back. Yeah,
this is going to be one of those where I'm like, oh, duh. Yeah, of course, it was Green Giant the whole time.
Where's the beef?
It was a grandma who did it.
It's a grandma. It was the
I
grandma.
can picture the freaking commercial right now.
Yeah.
I cannot.
I'll go with. I'm probably wrong, but I'll go with. Where's the beef? Chunky soup.
No, it's not Campbell's
Chunky
Chunk. What's funny is I
That's
could
funny.
see how you could get there
Yeah, a lot
if
of
you
football
didn't
players in
know,
there.
but
Yeah.
it is not Campbell's Chunky.
Mike, thank you for playing, man. I appreciate it. I'm also drawing a blank on that one.
How do the young guys know this one? This was a very famous.
I don't know.
Older.
Sometimes you pitch right into your sweet spot. Sometimes you miss.
We
Sometimes
just know where
somebody
the
else.
beef is. I
We
guess.
just know where the beef is. We're big beef guys.
Let's go to John next up on Sports Radio 810 WHB. John, sports or leisure, what side would you like to start with?
Well, I'll take the where's the beef question.
Yeah.
First.
Where you want?
That's Wendy's.
That is Wendy's. Wendy's. Where's the beef?
Yeah. Wendy's. We have the beef. That's the damn it! I keep getting them wrong. I'll get them right.
How do you not remember that commercial? With
I
the
really
old,
don't.
The old lady and
who was the NFL player in there?
Was it Mike Ditka or?
I don't remember off the top of my head. All I remember was the old grandma who was yelling at, "Where's the beef?"
I guess sorry. I read a book back in the day. I didn't just sit around and watch TV like you, Sterling. Read a book from time to time.
Shocked that I was not watching TV in 1984.
Was the book better for the commercial?
The book was better for the commercial.
The commercial book was better. All right, John, over to the sports side. We've got general NFL, and we have some Border War basketball.
Well, as a KU alum, I've got to go Border War. So
great. As a KU alum, this one should be easy. Who mugged Phil Pressey in 2012 at Allen Fieldhouse? It's an easy one, right? He hasn't answered yet, Michael.
Is that the real question?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yep. Who mugged Phil Pressey in 2012 at Allen Fieldhouse?
Oh, shit. Oh, 2012, Allen Fieldhouse.
Oh, yeah. It fouled the bleep out of him, and it was not called.
It was assault in 25 countries.
Yeah.
Thank goodness it wasn't this country.
Sounds like a very personal question here. It sounds very...
I actually thought it was a layup just for fun, as the first one to ask that would get
Yeah,
it.
it would have been a layup if he made it.
Yeah, if he wasn't mugged, yes, agreed.
If he wasn't hacked.
Yes, agreed, yes. And also, Missouri don't blow a 19-point lead in the second half.
Also true, but I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on the fact that this guy...
Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't know who's worse at getting calls, Chiefs or Jayhawks. I mean, it's absurd. Ugh. Big college basketball, always wanting KU to win.
I mean, I know the guys, they're coming to mind. I mean, does this the guy have like double T's as initials possibly, or?
He does have AT.
Yeah, AT, not double.
An initial, but not two T's.
Oh gosh!
I mean, he hit him so hard he could have been teed up.
He could have been teed up.
Yeah, I mean, I would have given him a T. I mean, that to me is like a flagrant 5. I think.
And we're not being facetious. Of course, we're very serious.
Flagrant 5, I think, is that you're never allowed to play basketball again. That's how bad it was. You know, it was crazy. I'm actually surprised Phil Pressey's still alive and coaching. Like you would think that he wouldn't be able to play basketball anymore after that. It was really bad. It's really, really bad.
Well, I'm thinking, gosh, I mean, it's like. I guess I can picture the game. I just can't picture who fouled.
Oh, there's a picture at Allen Fieldhouse. It's a still shot of acting like Thomas Robinson had a rule of verticality. Gosh darn it. Who's the answer? I pulled the lead.
Is it Thomas Robinson?
Yes, I'm so stupid. Let's go ahead and mark that for tomorrow. Oh, my God.
So bad. I should have to.
Wow.
Damn it. Oh, man. The amount of times I've done that, I can now count on one hand still. Only one hand still. I thought that was a layup anyway, right? I thought that was going to be an easy one, right? Who's the answer, Michael?
It was Thomas Robinson.
Exactly. He mugged him. Thank you for finally admitting it, Michael.
Finally.
Thank you for finally admitting it. There you go. Michael, all KU fans, Michael just said, who mugged Phil Pressey? He said Thomas Robinson.
Yep.
I did not say that.
That's what I heard. I asked the question. You answered it. That's only one side, right?
That is one
Go
side.
to the leisure side, damn
That
it.
was both.
That was both. Damn it. No, he got the. What did he get? Yeah, he got the. Where's the beef?
Oh yeah, where's the beef? Yeah.
Yeah, he can go to Wendy's or Johnny's Tavern. Better spot because now you got $25 heading your way. John, I appreciate it. Thank you for playing, man.
Hey, Rock Chalk.
Nope.
You son of a.
Nope. Team up.
It's funny. I'm just glad Michael finally admitted it. To the phone lines we go, and we bring in Avery to the conversation. Sports or leisure, Avery? What side would you like to start with?
I thought it was going to be that time of year again when I get to answer the Thomas Robinson question.
Nope. Usually I save it for you.
You didn't prepare any World Cup questions?
No, I didn't. I should have, but I didn't because, I didn't.
Okay.
So, no, I didn't.
Did Carl say Reggie Wade? Maybe Reggie Wade would be in the Hall of Fame if he did.
Oh, he said Reggie. He said Reggie White.
Oh, he said Reggie White.
Yeah, he said Reggie White. Reggie Wayne would have been. I might have given it to him if he said Reggie Wayne. So.
I'll do Border War.
Border War. Okay. Who was the point guard in 2012 at Allen Fieldhouse that Thomas Robinson mugged?
Phil Preston.
Yep,
Flip?
got it right. No, I'm just gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you a different one. That was a joke.
Flip.
That was a joke. That was a joke. But in that same game, though, let's go with that same game. Who hit the free throws for KU to give the Jayhawks the win in overtime in that 2012 matchup at Allen Fieldhouse? Yeah, you got it, Michael.
It's 2012.
Yeah, that 2012 game. Who hit the free throws in overtime to give KU the win after Missouri blew a 19-point lead? So,
I only know who misses free throws for him.
Missouri missed a lot there. In the
No,
second
David Paget wasn't there. Let's see, that's Jeff Withy's there. Was he from Kansas City?
No, he was not.
He was not from Kansas City?
Nope. I believe he was a New York guy, right? Or New Jersey, I guess.
No, New Jersey. Tyson Taylor?
Well, see, why'd we give him that hint? You know, why'd we do that, Michael? Yeah, what's the point?
I didn't say anything. I gave you that hint.
Was that in my ear?
That was in our ears.
Oh, I thought that was on the
Jason's
air.
just giving out answers right now.
I thought it was on the air.
Yeah,
Sorry.
from Hoboken. I like Hoboken. Hoboken's a good place. Good place.
I delivered to Tyson Taylor's mom one time, and she had 2 giant trophies. I was like, what are those? And she's like, oh, those are Tyson Taylor's New Jersey state titles. They were like 6 feet tall. That was crazy.
You know what? If you win it, you should get something that you show for it, you know? You know what they say down in Ole Miss? You can't turn a Hoboken into a housewife. So that's what they have said for a while.
They do say that.
On to leisure with Sterling.
Slogans, a couple left in one-hit wonders or riddles?
I'll do slogans.
Slogans. This is a tough one. I thought it was. Good to the last drop.
Folgers? Is it a different coffee?
It's a different
Maxwell
coffee.
House?
Maxwell House. Yeah, I'll give it to you. You caught yourself quick enough. You caught yourself quick enough. Yeah, it's Maxwell House.
Good job.
Maxwell Apartment.
Is that right?
Maxwell Condo. Yeah.
There we go. Avery, we'll put you on hold to get your information. $25. Johnny's Tavern heading your way. Thank you, sir.
Mary Chrysler.
Was that a slogan?
Happy Honda Days.
Happy Honda Days. It's no longer November, right? It's a December to remember. Thank you, Trip McDuffie, yesterday. Huh? Trip McDuffie said we're trying to make this a December to remember. Let's hope. That's a slogan. Maybe it's a slogan for the Chiefs the rest of the way. We'll find out. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back, continue playing some sports or leisure. More Zone next. Well, the snow is melting, so now would be the time if you had an issue with your roof that you might be finding out that you've got a leak up there. And if that's the case, PyramidRoofingKC.com. Go check them out. Better yet, give them a call, 816-966-1101, and to see what is going on up there. And with the weather here, make sure that you stay ahead of the weather, and you can weatherproof your roof. Free roof inspections from Pyramid Roofing. That's commercial and residential, locally owned and operated. If stuff's going on the roof that you don't know about, the only way you can find out, they come out and check it out and tell you what's going on. Missing, damaged shingles, sagging roof, broken tiles, leaks. If your roof is over 15 years old, then it's something you need to get checked out anyway. We had gutter issues, and I thought, the gutters are all clogged up, and that's why there's so much runoff that's coming off the gutters and just coming right down on the concrete, which is starting to break up that area. Well, no, it was that the gutters were not big enough in certain areas for the way the roof was shaped. So PyramidRoofingKC.com, where you can go and check them out, 816-966-1101. Free roof inspection. Stay ahead of the weather. It's PyramidRoofingKC.com. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB, 816-966-1101. Pyramid Roofing. All right, we'll continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you. Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy, heading up until 2 o'clock. The program with Swen Petro takes over. Tomorrow, we will be hanging out down at the Power and Light District, KC Live, as it is the FIFA World Cup 26 draw that is going to be going on tomorrow. The doors open at 9 o'clock, and the event starts around 10 o'clock. So that's going to be fun tomorrow, where we're going to be located at No Other Pub for our particular show. We'll be there. But there around the living room, Nate B. Katie, Jimmy Conrad, Matt Beasler, lots of giveaways and fun stuff, as we'll find out which teams are heading to which groups. We know where the U.S., which group they are in, and we'll find out which teams will be in the groups that Kansas City will host those particular groups. They are hosting 2 games from Group J, 1 game from Group E, and 1 game from Group F. And Canada, Mexico, and USA are already in 3 of the groups, none of those in which the United States are hosting those games. But there will still be 3 countries from Pot 1, which are the best, soccer nations for the World Cup ranked. And so you'll get at least 3 of those countries with a chance of playing here in Kansas City. And then we'll find out on Sunday who is going to be playing in Kansas City on the 16th, the 20th, the 25th, and the 27th of June. So we'll be down there tomorrow, pumped, ready to go, excited for that KC 2026, and our live broadcast brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City, the official health insurance partner of the KC Current and Sporting Kansas City. 913-381-810. $25 we're giving away for sports or leisure. Johnny's Tavern, $25. We've given away a couple of $25 gift cards already to some winners. We'll see how many more we can get. Categories on the sports side to reset. We have general NFL, and we have some Border War basketball with that game coming up Sunday noon at T-Mobile. Sterling, what about on the leisure side?
Riddles, a couple left, and one-hit wonders, and then slogans.
All right, there we go. We head to the phone lines, and Cajun is next up on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Cajun, sports or leisure, what side do you want to start with?
Let's start with leisure.
What side? Which category, I should say?
Let's do one-hit wonders, because slogan seems pretty easy. Oh, real quick, did you know after the old lady said, "Where's the beef?" what did the lady next to her say?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Under the pickle.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty good.
Nice job. Cajun would have killed that one.
That lady got famous, man. She made it on all the talk shows and stuff. God bless her. Her last, years of her life, she was famous. It was a phenomenon. It really was.
Man,
cool.
I could not place what that was for. So,
the one-hit wonders are pretty tough, but this is a great song. A song that I love anytime I hear it on the radio, every once in a while. Don't hear it a ton. It was released in 1981. Released in 1981. It's R&B and soul, and it's the Double Dutch Bus.
No idea.
Oh, man.
Double Dutch Bus.
Double Dutch Bus?
Yes.
The name of the song?
Double Dutch Bus.
Did it become a dance?
Coming down the street.
The only thing I ever hear Dutch is pass the Dutchie, man.
Pass the Dutchie from your left-hand side. No, it's not. That's not, no.
Oh.
He was just saying,
Y'all
yeah, I
give
agree
it
with
to
you.
me anyway, just for saying that.
I like that. It's a new rule. I like it.
I kind of like it.
That kind of cracked me up sometimes.
I know. It's great.
No, I don't know, man.
Oh, man.
I'll pass.
Cajun.
That's all right. No,
Pass.
No biggie.
All
right. Appreciate you, Cajun.
Cajun, you're the man. Appreciate you,
All
brother. 913-381-810.
Dutch bus coming down the street, moving pretty fast, so kind of shuffle your feet. Get on the bus.
No idea.
Pay your fare.
Never heard
and
of it.
tell your bus driver going to a Double Dutch affair.
See, I would think of more of engine number 9 on the New York Transit line if the train falls off the tracks. Pick it up, pick it up. All right, let's go back to the phone lines, and Tim is next up on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Tim, sports or leisure, what side do you want to start with?
I'm going to ask a favor, since it's also as a Nebraskan and a Creighton alum, can we do the Border War for Sunday's Creighton-Nebraska game instead?
Yes.
quick on your feet?
Yes. Can you tell me who missed the 3 in '94 that would have beat Missouri to take away their undefeated Big 8 season, but he missed the shot and Missouri remained undefeated in Big 8 play for Nebraska?
Was a Husker?
Yep, for Nebraska.
Eric Piatkowski.
Well done. There's one. There you go. Over to the Leisure with.
He was fun in the NBA.
With the yeah, yep, absolutely. I'm just glad. I hated that he shot it because I'm like, oh no, that's going to go in, but he missed it, thankfully.
Yeah.
Slogans.
I was at the game that year where they actually beat KU in Lincoln
Nice. There you go.
under Danny Nee.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's do. Are the slogans going to be as
Take
easy
that,
as
Michael.
the last two?
People think they're easy until I give them, and then the people are like, "Oh, that's harder than I thought."
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
let me hear the slogans, and I'm like, yep, I'm out so far.
And is that the last song left on One Hit Wonders? Because I have no clue on that either.
That's one of the easier ones. I mean, there's 3 that are all hard on the one-hit wonders. 3 all hard ones.
Let's go slogans.
All right, this is another semi-easy one. Can you hear me now? Good.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the Verizon cell phone, right?
Yep.
You said Verizon first.
I certainly, yeah.
I heard him say Verizon first.
Verizon cell phone.
Yeah, he said Verizon first, and I think he was like, "Oh, I don't remember if it's AT&T or T-Mobile."
Well, I meant versus their landline service.
Yes, it was. It was Verizon. Can you hear me now? Good.
Yeah, they went out in like all these rural areas. Can you hear me now? Good.
You know what?
Yeah.
Bring those commercials back versus the one of Billy Bob Thornton just trying to act country.
Instabook, whatever he says.
Yes.
Make fun of it.
Bring back the Can You Hear Me Now?
Insta-talk. All right, Tim, that's a winner. Well done. We'll put you on hold, get your information. Congratulations, sir. Nice job.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Good luck to your Huskers this weekend.
Thank you.
There you
or
go.
my Blue Jays.
Or
either.
whichever one wins.
Whichever one wins.
You know what? For Soren Petro's sake, good luck to his Blue Jays. So there you go. We'll put you on hold, Tim. Get your information. If you didn't know, Soren's daughter goes to Creighton. So, big Blue Jay family now there with the Creighton house. Once you start writing checks to a school, you probably find yourself maybe rooting for them a little bit more. I don't know. Let's go to Ryan next up on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Hey, Ryan, sports or leisure? What side would you like to start with?
Hey, we'll do sports. We'll do the rivalry.
All right. Let's see. The 1997 matchup was supposed to be the lopsided affair with number 1 undefeated KU in Columbia. Double overtime, found a winner. Do you remember which Missouri Tiger hit the winning jumper to give the win to Mizzou in that game?
What year was this?
Apollo Linney?
No, he was 94, but not a bad area. But 97. It was from the free throw line. It sort of rattled in a little bit. So.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were a Missouri or KU fan, so I just went with the next one on the list.
I got it wrong.
Was Melvin Booker on that team too?
No, that was also. Wait a minute. Paulo Lenny was 95. Melvin Booker was 94. But yeah, a little bit earlier. Yeah.
Trying to think and get my years mixed up. It's been so long.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, I got it mixed up myself, so I get it.
Do you remember, Michael? Were you at the game? Were you at the game, Michael?
I was not at the game. No.
Okay, I didn't know. So you never know if you were there or not. So.
Man, the Kelly.
Nope, not him either. Not Kelly Thames.
Think of all the names I can think of.
I know. It was a tough one. He was a role player. He's pretty much he's known for this particular shot.
Yeah, nope. You got me on that one. Like Brian Grauer.
Nope. Are you a Missouri fan?
KU.
Okay.
So that one,
Yeah, that was just the next one up.
Gone from that game.
Yeah. You know what? Let me think real quick. Can you tell me who the leading scorer in that game for Kansas was?
Ooh, probably Rafe LaFrance.
Rafe LaFrance, well done. See, we're there we go. The next question was a Missouri one, so I tried to figure out quickly
Rafe
Kansas one.
LaFrance, yeah. I think his kid's now playing like high school or college somewhere, and I saw his jump shot. I'm like, That's just Rafe LaFrance. It's the cocked behind his dome left-handed shot. The shot put.
Yeah, LaFrance had 26 in the game tying basket at the end just to force into overtime, but it went to double overtime, and they won. That question is still out there for someone if they know the answer to it. But over to Leisure with Sterling.
Slogans, one-hit wonders, which are fairly hard, and riddles.
Do you have any 90s one-hit wonders left?
What year? There was one that would have been. Let me see. It's kind of all three R&B from different years.
Okay. Well, we can do slogans.
I'm trying to think. What was this song came out? That was.
You tell me.
2001.
Okay.
There's one from 01, one from 80, and one from probably.
Let's try the 01.
Okay, 01 R&B. One of my. You'll actually hear this a lot in remixes. Like if DJs ever play songs, they'll use this beat all the time. It's called Heard It All Before. Heard it all before. And the intro is basically this lady talking to her cheating guy. But they use this song a lot.
Not Macy Gray, but it sounds...
yeah, it's kind of close.
I know the song you're talking about.
Yeah.
Sunshine, something like that.
Yes, I'll give it to you because you got that part. That's the hard part. Sunshine Anderson.
Anderson, that's right.
Sunshine Anderson.
That's my brother. My brother. Sunshine.
Good pull, man.
Nice job.
Good
Well
pull.
done. Well done. We'll put you on hold, Ryan. Congratulations. Well done. And you'll get to talk to Michael, and you and your fellow Jayhawker can have some fun and reminisce.
Hey, thanks from all the Topeka lovers for Johnny's.
Oh, yeah. Very good, man. Ryan, we'll put you on hold. There you go. Topeka, Lawrence, 10 area locations for Johnny's Tavern. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and a little bit more time to play. So if you're on hold, we'll try to get to you on the other side of the break. More Zone right after this. You know, Missouri, your moment, it's finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is now live in your state, and now you can make every game even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, props, more, live bets, all of that, and all from your phone, all safe, secure, and easy to use. And Missouri fans know that game day, the tailgates, the noise, the passion, now with DraftKings Sportsbook, you can bring that same energy to every snap, every touchdown, every win. That Border War game on Sunday at noon, if you're there, you can be having some fun along the way on your phone. At Arrowhead for the game versus the Texans, if you're there, having some fun along the way on your phone. The boost for the Chiefs and Texans for Sunday, the plus 100 boost if there is a yard gained in the entire game. I think there will be a yard gained in the game. If that game ends up with 0 yards gained for either team, that's a tough loss. So they're giving you $50. And how about this? New Missouri customers bet just $5 to get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting, no nonsense, just pure action powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code 810WHB. New Missouri customers bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 810WHB. The crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Kansas only. Eligibility and restrictions apply on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
All right, wrapping things up here on a Thursday edition. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll be at No Other Pub hanging out for the World Cup draw at 11 o'clock is nationally when it starts. Doors open at KC Power and Light, KC Live tomorrow at 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock is when the event starts. Nate B. Katie, Jimmy Conrad, Matt Beasler, all their prizes, a bunch of other stuff as well. And Sterling will be there too, so you've got that going for you.
Which is nice.
Let's try to sneak in at least one or two more contestants. Matt, sports or leisure, what side would you like to start with?
Let's go slogans, please.
Slogans. A diamond is forever. A diamond is forever.
It's De Beers.
It is De Beers. Good job.
Yeah, that's right, and that's what you'll be buying at Johnny's Tavern if you get sports right. Do you want the NFL or do you want some Border War basketball?
Let's go Border War, please.
All right, Mizzou or KU? I should ask that before I just give out a question.
I am a KU fan.
What is up with you people? Come on. All right, this is one for you. In the final game played at Hearn Center, still bothers me. Final game played at Hearn Center, which Jayhawk hit the game winner on the baseline to give KU the win to close out the Hearns and beat Missouri?
It would be all-time great Jayhawk David Padgett.
That is correct. Also known as all-time great Louisville Cardinal, also known as the guy that took over for Rick Pitino when he was fired, but also known as all-time great David Padgett. I hate him.
Just needed that one shot.
That's right. And he'll forever be remembered or, hated. Either one. That's a winner. We'll put you on hold as well. Matt, get your information. Congratulations. De Beers, you're buying.
Thanks, guys. Rock chalk.
No.
I stopped myself. You agreed. No, I said about all that stuff you're going to be buying for people at Johnny's Tavern, about all that.
Well, Sterling is the KU football fan.
Nope.
So.
That's a great point. He is. Jeff, sports players besides Devontae Adams. Name
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice is the leader with 6. Well done. Nice job. Jeff. Yeah, Jeff. I almost said Jerry, and I stopped myself, so I said Jeff. There you go. But Jerry Rice.
Good job, Jeff.
The other ones, Randy Moss with 4, Terrell Owens with 4, and then Devontae Adams. So there you go, $25. The questions I did not get an answer to, Corey Tate hit the shot in double overtime to give Mizzou the win in 97 over number 1 ranked Kansas.
Mine was double Dutch bus.
Yeah.
Frankie Smith.
Ah, okay.
Frankie Smith.
Frankie says relax.
Yeah, but not Frankie Smith. Frankie Smith said double Dutch bus.
All right, very good. All right, we'll see you at No Other Pub tomorrow. The World Cup draw. Come down there, hang out, have some fun. The program with Soren Petro is next. Enjoy it right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.